All right, folks. We're just 2 minutes away from the show we've all been waiting for, The Lion's Den. You know it's about to be crazy, interesting, and downright hilarious tonight. If you've been here before, you already know why this is one of the few shows that keeps you glued to the screen the entire time. The host, fearless. What can I say? The man's a legend. Handsome, well-built, and an intellectual powerhouse. Quick-witted doesn't even begin to describe him. This guy handles every topic like a pro and never misses a beat. And you can't forget Keenal from Black Man Travels. Deep thinker, always dropping knowledge, bringing those big conversations that really make you sit back and reflect. He's all about opening up your mind to new perspectives. Oh, and when Ronan steps in, it's a whole different vibe. The man brings balance, discipline, and humor all wrapped into one. He's the kind of guy that can crack you up 1 second and drop wisdom the next. This is grown folks talk. No nonsense, no drama. Just real, respectful conversations. They get into the deep stuff, but they always respect everyone's viewpoint. You can trust the Lion's Den to bring real, unfiltered, adult conversations with that perfect mix of intellect and fun. You've got your popcorn ready, right? Because in just about a minute, this place is gonna light up. Get comfortable, hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and make sure you're locked in. Let's go. The Lion's Den is about to start.
All right, it's almost time. I've been waiting for this all week. Is it just me, or does time slow down when you're waiting for the Lion's Den to start?
Come on, let's go. I got things to say tonight. I'm ready to hop on the panel. You better have subscribed already. If you haven't hit that subscribe button and smash the like by now, what are you waiting for? You gotta support the Den, people.
Hit that notification bell too, unless you want to miss out and hear about it later.
This is the show you don't want to miss. Every week I'm here waiting. The energy, the conversations is about to get real.
Tick tock, I swear this is the longest minute of my life.
Tick tock, tick tock. The panel tonight's gonna be fire. I can feel it. Who's joining tonight? Let's go. Hit that subscribe button already.
Yo, grab your popcorn, grab your drink. It's about to go down. You're not ready for what's coming. I got my snacks, my drink,
And I'm locked in.
Let's get this show started.
All right. Quiet down. The show's about to start. Everyone ready?
Silence. The Lion's Den is about to begin. Let's go.
Before we pull up here, y'all see that background?
Oh, hold up. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Now, usually, I'm 99.95% right. This is that 0.5% that I'm wrong. Now, we had some discussions last week that we were talking about masculine men and how women want masculine men. They strive to find masculine men. They like the strong character, the jawline, the take charge type man. Well, all women don't want that.
Show don't.
Man, we have found that we have a person that joins us usually every week. Usually he's drunk about this time. It's 7 a.m. So he might not have had breakfast or had some drinks, and that's American Live talk. And usually what happens is he said that he used to get his women by being feminine. By being a little fruity.
No.
Being a little suspect, as they say. Now, I know we're not up here. I just want y'all to see. We just showing y'all the banner right now. Because I want to see, are beta men preferred? We've talked all this trash about the masculine man, the man's man. The guy that has the jawline, the good haircut, calluses on his hands, little scars on his face.
Right. Did some shit in his life.
Oh, yeah. Did something, man. Been through it. Got it from the mud. But these women don't even want guys that been in the mud. They don't even want the calluses on the hand. They want a well manicured type man. So maybe American Talk Live was right. Maybe he was getting his women by being a little soft, so to speak. So is it that this Neanderthal that I've been called a knuckle dragger, masculine man with a jawline that you can only wish for? Bald headed because I got so much testosterone running through me that an endless self. Am I not the type of man that the women want? We shall find out. But I'm going to also tell you why that is. We're going to find out why that is. Ronan, welcome to the show, friend.
I appreciate that, my
Are you
boy.
a masculine man, or after you find out about this, are you going to go ahead and switch teams?
No, I'm
getting manicures and
absolutely all man, all masculine, always. Sorry,
Always.
can't do it.
What?
Can't get a little sugar in my tank. Can't do any of that. You know what I mean? I got scars all over my body. My body's been through some things. You know, I can't do it. I can't do it. I mean, back in the day, you know, the light-skinned brothers, they used to call us pretty Rickies, all that. But even back then, it wasn't about, you know, it was just a look. It was just a thing. It was not, we strive to look like that. It wasn't, it was just, we were just gifted. We had the genetics. Now dudes actually go out of their way to get purified. You know, they go out their way to get manicures. And, you know, my feet are rough right now. My mom looked at my feet. She goes, God damn, you're going to be cutting somebody's legs up, rubbing your legs up against them. Hey, it is what it is.
Half of our audience, man. Half of our audience is you know, they paying the bills. You know, as the one girl on here says, if my friends don't think you a little gay, you ain't right for me. I mean,
oh shit, really?
Now, yes, and I'm gonna show you this one, brother. I think that the only time I could have switched up clothes with a girlfriend is probably when I was 10. You know, the girls were a little bit bigger than me back then. If I find a girl that I can trade clothes with now, yeah, it's a problem. If she can wear my clothes like out, that's a problem. So people such as American Live might have been right. Are these the type of women, the men that these women are looking for? Let me play my brother here. And he's going to tell you not only why the women are looking for him, he's going to tell you what he expects and what he can do for you.
You got fans. Okay.
Because come on now, like, Eric gonna be on point, Alfred gonna be on point, super caring, super attentive, like, you know, all that good ish. You know, definitely a pleaser. But you know, you just gotta be on board with that, or leave. No, just gotta be on board with that. Yeah.
If you ever find yourself in love with a femboy like me, these are 3 things that you should remember. 1, just because I may look like I stepped out of a RuPaul Drag Race episode does not mean that I'm not daddy, because I am. 2, we can share certain clothes, all right? Not everything. Hands off the clothes.
Look at this. Ronan, you don't look down. You got to see this. Are you sharing clothes like this?
Bro, stop it.
2, we can share
look at this, Ronan.
All right? Not everything.
They sharing clothes.
Hands off the clothes. Unless we contributing back and forth to the shopping budget. All right? 3, no matter what, you will always feel supported. You will always feel safe.
Really?
Because what the old folks used to say, don't let the sweet taste food. Stay with the motherfucking. Yeah, so don't worry, because I got you.
He said, don't let the sweet taste fool you. Now,
LJ said it all. Wait. LJ's in shock. LJ's like, what is that on the screen?
These women love their hair. They can go get perms together. Like he said, if we not buying clothes together, then you just can't get in my closet. So that means he's getting with chicks that can not only fit his clothes, but like his style. This is, and I understand American Talk Live. You said for the record, this is the feminine side. This, yeah, for him, it was a little low. That's how, do you see the bass in my voice? Now, somebody with that feminine is not going to talk with that much bass. His voice will be a little low. It will be a little low. So, man, my goodness. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? I'm just curious.
I'm gonna tell you why. I already know why.
Why?
We know why. Come on, we know why.
No, I want to know. I'm gonna have these women tell you why, but I'm curious as to why you think that is, because we got the women who's
It's
going to
all these
explain.
single mamas for the last 50 years raising these kids to be cute, be to their little doll babies, and putting sugar in their tank by the way they dressed them, thinking it was cute and sexy to dress them all feminine and keep them all their hair done. I mean, that dude had a whole perm, straightened out, curly hair, beard. I'm like, what the? Are you serious?
Oh, man.
Talking
Man,
about,
oh, man.
I got your back, baby. I can protect you.
But that's how they look at it. That's how I look at it. Let me see if I can find. If this one is low, I'll play the other one because I had to record this. So if this is low, I'll play the original. And she's going to tell you why. Now, I'm into superheroes, like the character of a superhero.
Okay.
You know, the strong, as they say, the chiseled chin of a Superman, or a you know, the muscularity of the Incredible Hulk. You know, the hammer of a Thor. You would think that's nice, but let's see.
That like Thor is like the woman's like ideal man, when really it's Loki. So
Right,
it's like
right.
Loki's written through a female gaze as opposed to Thor, that's men. That's
Right.
Which is ironic because that's a patriarchal standard.
Right.
Like men have to be big and strong, and
So who said that?
man, not I.
Nor I.
I was like, that doesn't mean dog shit to me. To be
Literally.
honest.
I mean, who is always in this conversation? Harry Styles, Shawn Mendes, all these like really effeminate men. And it's
Yeah.
like, and they're jealous of that because it's like they're scrawny. They don't even live. They don't even live.
Wow.
Is that true? Because they don't want the Thor, they want the low key, they want the feminine one, and she's saying it. The guys, the Harry Styles, the guys who are feminine looking, that's what they going for.
That's crazy.
No, it's what they're doing. So are we wrong by saying that the masculinity is what the women wanted? Because that doesn't seem to be the case. Not with this new generation. This new generation is, I'm gonna tell you what they do. Because you know, for my birthday or for my Christmas, you know, I get stuff like, give me a hammer. You know, I think I even got this wallet because they want to make sure you're gonna keep that money inside. Those are the type of gifts that I would get. Now, the type of gifts that someone like Richard might get, and him and his girl share, is a little different. And hey, nothing wrong with it, but
And a feminine boyfriend part one. So I got my boyfriend a gel nail kit for Christmas, and it definitely wasn't for me. What? So we're going to be matching pink today.
We didn't, that was my colour.
I'm blue. I kind of did it wrong, so I had to restart it. It's sad when your boyfriend can paint his nails better than you.
oh, it's sad.
So this is them. Comment down below whose is better.
Even though mine are the best.
No, like for part 2.
I'm just curious.
Wow.
I am just curious.
Wow.
Is this the feminine side? Now, obviously, and this video is called Toxic Masculinity. Obviously, he has a girl. They're in relationship. So he's not gay. He's just feminine side.
Yeah.
Yes, for the record, American Live did say a feminine side. So is this the feminine side that you were getting into? Were you getting in touch with your, I mean, how many times let's see, I don't know. I mean,
You said, how can I put this without
I'm just curious, guys. I'm wrong because I was really under the impression that a lot of women wanted masculine men, that they wanted the strong man. But it seems that today they look at strong men as toxic masculinity. They look at the strong man that they want to share the man. They want the man to have the same interest that they do. They want to get their nails painted together. They want to share clothes together. They want to get their hair tied together. Now, I can observe. That brother that I first brought on here, I don't, that was his hair. He ain't had no wig on.
No.
He got better hair. Look,
he had longer hair than most women.
Than most women.
Good
Eyebrows done better than most women. Clothes fitted better than most women. And they love that. They like that. So I'm not sure. I've never been in touch with my feminine side such as this. Man, no, I know straight trade. You say if we ask women what they prefer, society would be crazy, but this is what they are preferring. This is what they are chasing. This is what they are going after. They like this. And let me tell you, I'm going to show this one because you would think, this is just somebody they dating. Nah, no.
You said no.
Bisexual girl thing, but I like men. I like women, right? I like women, don't really have a type. I like men, but I like feminine men. Big, chunky, scary men. Oh my God, no. Literally.
So the big, junky, scary men, that would be Ronan. She can't deal with that. She don't want that. But let's find out what she wants her husband to do.
Really could never. My husband paints his nails. And I'm like, yes, babe, so sexy.
Wow.
I'm scared to get the clear coat on my nails. Now, when I have gone to Thailand and got my nails done, I got the buff. They buffed them out, got the ridges out. You want a clear coat, sir? Yeah, not really.
See how jacked up my hands are right there?
Yeah, I don't need that clear coat.
No.
Yeah, I don't need it. But she wants that man to have a clear coat. I'm going to let her play it all the way to the beginning to explain exactly what she wants her husband and what she finds sexy. I don't know what the society is coming to. And maybe we are the Neanderthals that American Talk Live has said we are. Guys, maybe masculinity is not in. Maybe these women want a softer, more feminine man that wears nail polish.
What's that phrase that was going around? Drizzle, drizzle?
Drizzle, drizzle. Go ahead, girl.
This is just a bisexual girl thing, but I like men. I like women, right? I like women, don't really have a type. I like men, but I like feminine men.
I just want you to hear this. I like women and I do not have a type. That means he can be a stud woman, a butch femme. I don't care about the women, but my man. But my man better be a femme. I don't care if my girl wearing nail polish, but my man. No, I don't go to the Ladyboy salon, brother. They got way more salons than that.
Big, chunky, scary men. Oh my God, no. Literally could never. My husband paints his nails. And I'm like, yes, babe, so sexy. I just saw a video of a guy trying on skirts and I sent it to my husband and was like, damn, babe, you should wear a skirt. And I'm telling you, I like men, okay? I'm not like a lesbian.
Sure you do.
She just like men in skirts. Now, ATL, I've never said I was getting in touch with my feminine side. That was you. And I understand now. There's nothing wrong with it because I was wrong. Masculinity is not in.
Being in denial. I genuinely like men. And I obviously love my husband, but like feminine men. Like men, but like dress them up like little princesses.
There you go. That she said it all. She said it all. They
Dress
like
them up.
men like little princesses. Like little princesses. That's what they like.
Wow.
And I know what y'all saying. Y'all telling me. Y'all saying these white girls, them snow bunnies. That's who likes that feminine man. The snow bunnies. Nah, my brother. Nah, not always.
Why do I go for more feminine men?
And here's a sister, an attractive sister. Nothing wrong with her. Got her natural hair and everything. But she's going to tell you why she actually go for these feminine type men. Why they're attracted to Richard. Why they're attracted to Chris. Why are they attracted to them?
By the way, there's nothing wrong with rocking a kilt. Oh,
yeah, a kilt isn't
a kilt is something totally different.
Yeah, that's not the dress. She said a skirt. A little bit different.
I have is, so I don't have many girlfriends here in Austin. In Minnesota, I have girlfriends who I love, and yeah, I love having girlfriends, but it's just been hard for me to make girlfriends in Austin. And I do feel like in dating, I may be trying to fill the role of like best girlfriend with a partner. And I'm realizing like that's just not what I should be doing.
Exactly. And so we talked about this. We said when a dude dated a chick for a whole year, nothing happened. They didn't get busy. Nothing transpired. She was just dating her friend. She wanted a man that was supposed to be like her boyfriend. Like her girlfriend. She wanted a girlfriend, not a man. That they could go out, they could do their hair together, all of that. That's what she's looking for. Oh no, I know what you're saying, School of Thought, but some of these women are actually just, I don't know. Because that's what I wanted to find out. Was it just the masculine ones? And what they're looking for. Here, I'll let you see what they, because I would think that if I brought these people around, if I'm a girl and I'm out with my friends and their friends say, hey, your man is a little suspect. He got, what they call it, sugar in the tea?
Sugar in the tank.
Yeah. Back in the day, they'd be like, girl, he walked funny. That would be a turn off. That's a turn off. Nobody wants that. He got sugar in the tank. He talk a little sweet. He hold his wrists a little down. Because what's the first thing that they always say? Even on Kevin Samuels, when they want to emasculate you, he's gay. Because Austin to me, went out with my wife. Oh, I gotta be gay. Anytime something happens, anytime they want to call a man out, they say he's gay. But here's the thing. That's what they like. That's what they like. Oh, did I not have? Let me take one of these off. Which is weird to me that they find that overly attractive now.
My type in men is that if my friends think you're a little bit fruity, a little bit on the gayer side of life, I'm very attracted to you.
I'm going to stop that. School of Thought. Take this down because I'm going to help you out with that. We're going to bring that back up here in a few moments. And we're going to talk about that.
Would you like to bring her up?
And confused. Yeah, she can come up. She's on birth control.
I'm going to send you the back link for this School of Thought so you can come up. We can get a female's.
And we're going to find out why these women now are liking suspect men. And it does have to do with birth control. But let me show you what happens how it used to be. When you were a suspect, your girl didn't want you. Oh, now.
So I think that my type in men is that if my friends think you're a little bit fruity, a little bit on the gayer side of life, I'm very attracted to you. Very attracted to you. My entire friendship group thinks that you're a little bit gay.
She's attracted to you if her friends think you're a little bit gay. Yeah. Where does this come from? Where is it that? And look, I can't be mad because this is what we were told. We were on that other channel and they said, you're not in touch with your feminine side. You guys are that's 1960s. No, women don't like masculine men anymore. And I fought against it. I said, no, these women love masculine men. said, no, what's wrong with you? They don't like masculine men anymore. They like men who are in touch. They want a soft type man. I said, it can't be. So I had to do my research because that's what I like to do. I like to show my audience research. And that's what happens. And it's like, and I can't say white, I can't say black. It's all of them. Let's see here.
Feminine sexuality is such a turn on to me.
His feminine sexuality. Yes, you can do that without a cam, school of thought. His feminine sexuality is a turn on.
Check your IG, Nova.
I'm not in this, guys. I'm in a complete loss. I told you I'm right 99.95% of the time. And this time I'm wrong. Fem is in. Being non-stoic, emotional, that is in.
The reason why a lot of women like feminine men is because they're not afraid to be themselves, and that is masculine. They love confidence.
Well, Paul, I never got one. That was you, brother. That's why you never showed up at Twin Peaks, because you was getting that rotation cuff up in there. I never got one. I never got one. But do you see this? How these women are? This is exactly what they're saying. I got one more that I'll bring up with this lady, and then I want to talk to
Hey,
School of Thought.
how you doing?
How you doing?
Good.
Oh, no, not that one. Wrong one. Let me see where this lady is at. Remove. Let me see if I can bring this video up, because I mixed them all together, so I might have to skip through one.
Okay, no problem. Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, give me one moment.
Excuse me.
Desktop. All right, I must have it with one of these. Oh, documents, that's why. Give me a moment.
Preferences, what they look for in men.
Nope, not her. Well, before I play the other one, I think this is what you are talking about. Let me bring him down. School of Thought. What I found is this.
Yes.
And maybe you can help me say if it's right or wrong.
Okay.
When women are usually attracted to the most masculine type men when they are ovulating. When they are ready to procreate and they are ready to have a child, they seek that out unknowingly. They look for that chin line. They look for that strong chest, because this is how they want to procreate with those other men. When they are not ovulating, during the other half, they will seek a softer type men. And from my research, what I have found is when women take birth control, it stops that ovulation period. And because that ovulation does not start, throughout the entire cycle, they're only looking for feminine men.
Well, let's back the train up for just a second. I'm just getting over having laryngitis, so I sound still a little funky, just so you know.
That's okay.
Yeah. And I just got out of the shower, so I'm not fully dressed and camera ready.
Please don't give us no.
No, I'm not on camera right now.
Don't give us no mental visual kind of mind.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
That's not good.
All right. So, in general, birth control messes with women anyways. Okay. So they find where they would normally find somebody more masculine, more attractive. It in general inhibits those. It also messes with their psychology as far as even being able to spot a predator, to be honest with you. So men who are more, I hate using the term narcissistic, but that's the term that's being thrown around today, so we'll use it today, okay? So men who are more predatory and narcissistic will slip through when women are mostly on birth control. I personally do not believe that birth control was invented for women. I actually believe it was invented for men. To be quite frank with you. The reason why you're seeing more females choosing the bisexual type men is, let's just put it where it's at, is because we're being pushed at that. Okay. Just like the men are being pushed at more androgynistic looking women who are more masculine looking. So that way it blurs the lines and you will be more apt to accept I don't want to say the word to get you in trouble, but the ones who are changing sexes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Transformers.
Yes, they're Transformers. Thank you. That's the term. Okay, thank you. So I would agree with you on the standpoint 100% that birth control messes with you. When I started birth control later, I didn't actually start until I was 26.
Wow.
I know, right?
That's real.
And yes, and I did it because they said, and I actually did not have this. My blood came out that my testosterone was 212.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes, and so when I work out, I can get cut and big fast. I'm abnormally strong for a woman. I've moved a lot of furniture with all my. I was raised with men, right? So I moved heavy furniture and stuff with all the men in my family and stuff like that. And so they said because my testosterone was so high, they thought that I had PCOS, but I didn't because I had cycles and all that other shit, right? So they put me on birth control, metformin, and spirolactone. And I was on that shit for like 2 years. And let me tell you, I did not find men who are of another persuasion, shall we say, attractive. But when I went on that shit, all of a sudden I dated a nerd. I was dating a fucking nerd in Michigan. Okay.
Wow.
Totally not my type. He was a Baptist. I was trying to do the good boy Christian route thing and see how that would fly. But when it came down to it, I was not very attracted to him at all. Okay. So I would definitely say it fucked with me on those standpoints. And as soon as I got off of that, I was like, enough of this shit. So is that frank enough for you?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you think, well, let's say this. Do you think the onset of because when I looked at it, it said masculine women attract feminine type men. Do you think there's any truth to that?
Well, yeah, because a lot of the feminine men are bisexuals in the closet anyways. And so they're obviously to be more socially acceptable, even with themselves, until they really come to terms with it. They'll go for the other. You see what I mean? Like
Right.
most gay men, especially the older ones, they were either gay, you know, just men only, and then the ones who would also dabble with women, they just have no standards. It's like pick a side and stick with it, motherfuckers. You know, seriously. Like, what are you doing? You know, that's, you know, spreading disease and all kinds of problems doing that type of shit.
So you being very unique with having a high testosterone at a young age, what kind of men were attracted to you, being that you were strong and obviously, you know,
masculine men, because I was feminine.
More masculine men were. So even though you were strong, you still had a feminine frame.
Yes.
So women that say they're forced to be masculine because they don't have a man around, even though you have testosterone in your system at a higher rate, you still stayed in the feminine.
Yes.
Right.
No, that doesn't mean anything, Rona, because there's women who are bodybuilders who take testosterone. Actually, it just makes them more aggressive, especially like sexually.
I was very sexually aggressive. Yeah, I still not.
But that's what a man. They take
it is what it is.
With a man,
yeah.
They go after men like how a guy would go after a girl. Like, what's up? They go.
Oh yeah, I'd grab you and throw you down. I was like, let's go. Yeah, no, I was a little yeah,
Oh, wow.
but.
I like that.
But I wasn't manly. I was just, you know, let's go. You know, I was also an athlete and stuff like that. So that was my mindset anyways.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to play this one before I play the birth control. I got to skip ahead.
Yes. What's up?
I just want to show this one. If I can, let's see, get to this young lady here. Because I know a lot of people say it's cultural, but it's really not.
It's brainwashing.
Like, that's just not what I should be doing.
All right, let's see if this woman goes. Keep going.
My guy's girly, right, Adrian? I like them. I like them to be a little, you know.
You like a feminine man?
Yeah, I think people have this very blurred idea of what it means to be a man. You have to be excessively masculine. You have to be the breadwinner when it's.
What is masculinity to you?
They don't even know what masculine is. The very definition of masculinity means man. That's what it means. It's not a state of being. It is a state of a sex.
Right.
You know, it's so stupid. She's not even very feminine herself, to be quite frank with you.
Oh no, a lot of them aren't. A lot of
No,
them
they're
aren't.
not. It's a whole lot of brainwashing that's going on. It's people blurring the lines on purpose. It is what it is.
My other question is: are women looking for? Well, let me see. How did he say? Men to get in touch with their feminine side.
No, I don't want you getting. No, be human. Don't be a woman. My God.
I mean,
Human.
do you mind a man getting a manicure or pedicure every once in a while? Is that too feminine?
No, that's fine. No, I used to pay for that every once in a while.
Okay.
For the
So when
man,
we say
I pay
feminine
for it.
side, I guess it's the emotional, I mean,
It's the body language. It's how you carry yourself. It's your mentality. It's how you speak. It's how you present yourself. It's the whole shebang. Yeah, it's not attractive at all. And it's going to be out. You watch with the next kids coming up. If everything turns around the way that it should, that shit's going to be out.
I'm gonna play this one last just to solidify what you were saying, and then I want you to answer some questions from the chat.
Okay.
This is talking about the birth control.
Preferences, what they look for in men.
When women are at the point in the cycle when estrogen is high, there's been a lot of research indicating that women exhibiting a preference for more masculinized male faces, more masculinized male voices, the scent of testosterone. And so there's been a lot of research that sort of links estradiol to testosterone preference. So more recently, researchers have begun to explore the idea that women who are on hormonal birth control, given that it keeps your own estradiol levels very low, that this might be associated with a decreased preference for masculinity. There's been research showing that women who are on hormonal birth control prefer a less masculinized male face relative to what's preferred by the exact same women when they are naturally cycling. The men who were chosen by women when they were on hormonal birth control, those faces were seen as being less masculine and also sort of scored lower in terms of masculinity using the objective measures relative to the faces of men who were chosen by naturally cycling women.
And I say that, I know what she's saying, but the reason I say some of that might be true, I know women who have married somewhat feminine men.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go get the DNA test for the child, and the child is not the guy's, because basically during ovulation, she was stepping out. Because she was seeking that strong man to procreate with, but she wanted that, the nerd, the guy that's going to be the safe man to take care of her, but that's not the person she was attracted to. So she was willing to cheat with the more masculine man, but felt safer with the feminine man, so to speak.
I don't think, in all honesty, there's feeling safe with a more feminine man. There's no feeling safe with that, to be honest with you. I did it once, and once was enough.
Did you feel safe with him?
Fuck no, sorry. no, not at all.
Then what was your what made you attracted to him then? What was he attracted?
I was trying to do the preacher's daughter, do the whole church thing, and if the other guy was wrong for me, let's try the church thing and the nerd thing, see if that was right. And it wasn't right because he was a liar anyways, so it was what it was. I don't agree with women stepping out of their marriage and getting pregnant by somebody else. Why are you married then? But
I don't agree. I'm just saying when those DNA test results come and they say you are not the father, and then they show who the father is, you're like, oh, okay, she was stepping out for someone she found more masculine in a sense.
Well, she also doesn't have any morals by doing that. So it's like, if you're going to do that, get divorced. But I get it. I get the biology behind it. But, you can control your damn biology. You can control yourself.
Facts.
Yeah, we're responsible for our own actions and our choices. Don't get it twisted. We're not animals. We have a brain.
So American Talk Live wanted to ask, if it's true, does that mean masculine men exhibit bad behavior?
That's a loaded question.
What?
Human beings exhibit bad behavior. Do we have etiquette? There's an old saying, what separates us from us and the animals? Well, it's your etiquette. It's your manners. So, I mean, if you've got good etiquette and you've got good manners, then what are we talking about? There's no such thing as toxic masculinity. It's a lie. Just a coin term. It's a political agenda.
Correct.
Masculinity, everyone, just means, look up the actual definition, the very origin of the definition. It just means a man. It does not mean anything past that.
So do you think it's this new, I know we were talking about, you said the next generation may change.
I
Why
hope.
do you think this new generation is so unisex? I think but I can't even say it's new. I think it started off when I was there. It was what was that cologne called? Calvin Klein. They used to have Calvin Klein where
Yeah.
it
No,
was
it
androgynous.
started. Yeah, it started in what, the 80s and early 90s, but well, it's, because when you blur the lines of the sexes and then their roles, then you start crumbling society as a whole.
Yeah, what were those tight pants? Those like mini pants, or dudes were wearing them too that you barely get in them.
Skinny jeans.
Skinny jeans. Yeah, whatever the
most
hell.
of them were
Yeah, that's
buying
crazy.
women's pants. You know that, right? Before they started.
Did not know that.
Yeah, they were actually getting into women's pants, and then they started, in the mid 2000s, they started making them for the men. But for the most part, they were mostly buying broads pants. Yeah,
Wow.
unless you're a freaking rock star, put something on your ass that fits.
So, like I said, are we wrong then? Because we have been called all kinds of names. Because last week we talked about masculinity,
Okay.
that even on dating apps and things like that, if you are a masculine man, no matter what country you're in, no matter where you go, you still can attract women.
Yeah.
That top 10% or whatever is going to still attract women with a confidence.
Yes.
But we were told that we were too masculine, that women want a
Who
softer
said that?
man.
Don't believe me.
We said that we are the Neanderthals, knuckle draggers. That women
Troglodyte.
now, they want men in touch with their feminine side, and that's what is attractive to men. That how was it put to us that this new way is past? Like we are relics of the past.
See, it's all about the new way. You see what I mean? But that's part of the socialist. Can I say the word communist? Can you even say that?
Go ahead, you can say that.
That's part of the communistic agenda. That's how to defeat a society from the inside out. Well, fine, whatever. Let her have her feminine boys, and then when they come to sack the kingdom, they'll take her and all of the booty right along with it. That's my opinion.
Literally the booty.
Literally the booty.
Literally.
Yeah, all of it.
But I know you're saying that, but I want to show you this. I don't know when you joined, but I want to
just
show
right
you this.
now.
Okay, well, let me
As
show you
I
this.
made a message.
Let me show you this man, because this is the man.
Well, I would
women.
hold the word man back a little bit.
Yeah, I
No,
would.
no,
I would say
because-
male.
I'll
Okay, male.
let Nova Star judge if that's actually a man or something else.
I'll say this because he actually. Well, I'll just play it.
Yeah.
Okay, with a zesty man. I don't know what to tell you. Because come on.
Oh,
man,
mercy.
like, hair gonna be on point, outfit gonna be on point, super caring, super attentive, like, all that good ish. Definitely a pleaser. But
But see, I want you to hear what he said. All the things that I'm attentive, my hair's on point, I'm a pleaser. It's all about how I can make that person feel good. I am the exact opposite. I'm a woman, so I know what women want.
Yeah,
That's what he's saying.
Yeah, so he's basically also a bottom, just so you know.
Wow.
Yeah, that
No,
dude's a bottom.
he's not gay. These guys.
He's a hot oil Diddy type.
No, that dude ain't straight at all. He'll bang down a broad so that way he can get what he wants. He probably wants a woman who works too and will supply.
Well, he continues. So.
Oh, am I right? Okay, let me hear it.
No, he's talking about clothes and things.
Be on board with that, or leave. Just gotta be on board with that. Yeah.
If you ever find yourself in love with a femboy like me, these are 3 things that you should remember. 1, just because I may look like I stepped out of a RuPaul Drag Race episode does not mean that I'm not daddy, because I am. 2, we can share.
So hold those.
I can't even take him seriously when he said that.
What he said is, For those who think I stepped out of a RuPaul drag queen, don't think that, because I am still daddy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only letting you hear what he's saying. I'm just repeating it.
Certain clothes, all right? Not everything. Hands off.
He's a liar.
Unless we contribute back and forth to the shopping budget.
Uh-uh.
All right? 3, no matter what, you will always feel supported. You will always feel safe.
And what he said, you always going to feel supported. You always going to feel safe. You're not going to be threatened.
Yeah, huh? He's a liar.
Don't want the sweet taste food. Stay with the motherfucker. Yeah, so don't worry, because I got you.
See, you see how he put more of a masculine at the end? Did you see what he just did?
He said, I got you.
He's playing up all of the bi shit, and then at the end he starts to get more serious. You know how many gay dudes I've been around being in theater, and how many of them will switch from being their normal gay self to playing like they're more masculine and more straight. Oh please, oh please! If you're gonna buy that, if you're gonna buy that,
as they say, you got him clocked.
No, if you buy in any of that crap, I've got some oil property in Florida. I'll sell you. Seriously, you'll believe anything. Seriously, that guy's a liar.
All right, so that guy's a liar. So I know you joined a little late. I want to play this one because this is the title of this one is Toxic Masculinity, and this is what so he's a guy who's standing alone saying this. But what happens when it's the girl who is encouraging this?
And a feminine boyfriend part one. So I got my boyfriend a gel nail kit for Christmas, and it definitely wasn't for me. What? So we're going to be matching pink today.
We didn't, that was my colour.
I'm blue. I kind of did it wrong, so I had to.
You know what I just noticed? He took the pink nail polish and she took the blue.
Straight up.
Yep.
Just notice that. I didn't notice that the first time.
Straight up.
See how sweet he is out of the eyes? Oh, he's sweet. Go ahead. Keep playing.
Restart it. It's sad when your boyfriend can fit his nails better than you.
Yeah.
So this is them. Comment down below whose is better. No, like for part 2.
You see how young she is also? It's like playtime.
But tell me, how did this come about? Years ago, women would have never been attracted to this. And I said that if another woman, a group of women were together and they were like, girl, you know, he switches when he walks, or he's got a little something.
Yeah.
They would call him out, and that would be something that would be negative. But now, and I showed a video where the woman was like, if my friends don't say he's a little sweet, then I don't like him. Where did this change come in? Because I keep thinking, and it's not every channel, but the channels that call us old and outdated, they all go to this feminine man thing. You get in touch. You need to be emotionally intelligent. Get in touch with your feminine side. Women don't like this masculinity. And that's what made me do this video. Where is this coming from?
The media and the schools pushing it, the agenda of the government. I mean, it's real straight. It's real simple. And let them. And then it's a total failure. And then when they turn 30, 35, and they look at their life and go, the whole thing's a fucking wreck. You got nobody but to blame but themselves. And, I'll be a relic. Fine, whatever. And I'll take all the masculine men, you dumb broad. I don't care. They're dumb. Yeah, there's always going to be a segment of the population of women and men, who are just weird anyways. So, like, you've got a segment of women who will share men. Okay. It's like a groupie syndrome. They'll share men as long as everything gets paid for and they're taken care of. There's always been that segment of women. Just like there's going to always, like bisexual men, gay men, that's not going to go anywhere. There's always going to be that segment of society. But what needs to happen is we need to stop programming kids in school to think that this crap is normal when it's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
Like letting dudes play in women's sports and they kick our ass. Like, seriously, come on, like get the hell out of my bathroom.
I didn't play this one, and let me see if I can find it.
Hold on, let me get through these super chats real quick.
Yep, go
I
through
don't even know the person's name. Thank you for the $6.90. I don't even know what kind of currency that is. Alex, did you touch down in the Philippines safely? Not yet.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
I'm in my last portion of my U.S. world tour.
World tour.
So I stopped at Fearless's house, stopped at my boy's house in OKC, hanging out with my mother for our next couple of weeks because she just turned 81 years old, March 18th.
Oh,
So I
happy
figured I'd
birthday,
do a little
Mom.
bonding with Mom before I
Yep.
take off for 2 years in the Philippines, and God forbid something happened while I'm over there. So
Yeah.
by the end of this month, I will be hopping on a plane and headed towards the Philippines. So those are my plans. Thank you for the $6.90, whatever that currency is. And then from Darnell Elliott, thank you for the $10 super chat. He says, would you rephrase your poll? I have a poll right now going, and it asks, do women prefer F-boys more than real men? I think the phrasing's okay, though. I think women want everything in one man. Support Ronan's goal. Donate to the homeless, starving Marine. Sorry, Ronan. Well, technically, I am kind of homeless because I put everything in storage, sold a lot of my stuff so that I can minimize my storage costs while I'm overseas. So technically, you're right. But thank you for the $10 super chat. What do you guys feel about that? Do you feel like a woman wants everything in one man?
Say that last part again. I'm sorry, honey.
Do you think a woman wants everything in one man?
Okay, define everything. What are the parameters?
I guess the guy that can go shopping with her, the guy that's in touch with his feminine side, the guy that can be understanding, the strong silent type. You know, every Disneyland fantasy plus.
No, that's crazy. We're all human beings. All human beings are emotional. Period. Okay,
Right.
so that's a misnomer. That's more propaganda and bullshit also being pushed, right? So, but we're all emotional. So, a man who can be understanding and know how to be a man without being a jerk. Okay, sure.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, sure, but not the other. No, because I'm not interested in being with a woman.
Thank you for the definition of what that was. The $6.90 donation was in Israeli shekels.
Yeah,
All
you're
right.
you're basically defining a woman being with another type of a woman, just with a unit between their legs. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
That's unrealistic. There's a reason I'm a woman. There's a reason that you're a man, and when we come together, we complete each other. Period. It's not separate. It's
I
we
like the way
complete
you
each
said
other.
that.
Thank you. Yeah, we're
I like
supposed
the
to
way you said
complete
that.
each other.
Right,
We're supposed to be. I know this is unpopular, but we're supposed to. You're building a foundation in life together. You're supposed to be there for each other. You're supposed to be able to lean on each other. You're supposed to be each other's best friends. I'm not saying you don't have outside interests or any of that type of stuff. No, I'm not saying that. But at the end of the day, it's you against the world.
Mm-hmm.
And anything
Correct.
past that is a lie.
Right. I agree with you 100%.
Thank you.
Also, I know you said something about being taught in school. I'm going to show this one. I know everyone has seen it before. And I just want your take as to what the father should have done. Well, I'll just ask that after. Let's see. Now, this is the father.
Okay.
And this is the son.
That's the son?
He's showing up to take his... So he's going to escort him to the prom.
Look down. Let him cry. Oh, he's crying. Oh, my God. Oh, you made him cry. Wait. Let him fall on the floor. Let him fall. Let him fall on the floor.
Let him fall. Oh, God.
Hold on.
This man scared going run.
Oh no.
Look up.
Somebody should beat him. You want my real opinion? Beat his ass.
I didn't know.
Seriously.
He's crying. This is monumental. I know.
If you enjoy my content, well, please follow. Like.
Now, when I looked at the comments, Now, every man in there was like, what the hell? Every woman was saying, that's so great of him to support his son and, support him like that. And he took no judgment on it. I just want an opinion. Give me an opinion. What
Well,
is
it seems like
for it?
he's not even in the home. It seems like he came there, right, to go pick him up.
I think he's surrounded by women.
I'm old fashioned. I'm all for smacking your kid when he's out of line. Learn some respect. I don't care if it's popular or if it's not. That's the reason why most of these kids run around with no respect and no fear of anything. That's the truth. And they don't really even understand how dangerous the world really is. So nobody's bubble gets penetrated till later on, and then they're like, oh gee. But that being said, if the guy's not in the home and then the mom's gonna cater, moms cater anyways. That's part of a woman's nature, is to cater to children and to cater to what their man likes the most. I'm not going to say the judgment is always very good, but honestly, that shouldn't be encouraged. I don't know how the kid got that way. I don't know if he was touched. You know what I mean? I don't know how he got that way. There's a myriad of reasons why he got that way, but this whole thing of women encouraging bad behavior should not be happening. I cleaned that up, Ronan.
Yeah,
I'm
good
trying.
Good
You got
catch.
me on subjects where, man, I'll start spurging. So I'm not for indulging bad behavior. I'll put it to you that way.
Now, one of our usual people in our comments would say that it's the man's fault, that men have made women more masculine, that we've made women like this, and and it's the men's fault for doing that. And maybe that's why, the masculine woman is always going to find it difficult to have a masculine man. That they just don't go. So the more masculine the woman have become because of men, they are actually seeking out the more feminine men. So is it the men's fault that the women are masculine? And is it kind of the men's fault that masculine women are seeking out feminine men?
Oh God, that's a loaded question. Society has made women have to pick up where men are leaving off. Okay. Am I going to sit there and say that men haven't retracted and not want to take up their roles? Because I think we both know most of them don't really want to take up their proper roles. America has the lowest sperm and testosterone count in the world. And so when you mess with the hormones of the males, then you're going to get more feminine results of that. So that's obviously going to change the demeanor and the nature of how the males, I mean, if you looked at the 70s and the 80s, everybody's way more naturally trim, way more naturally fit. A man's real nature is very competitive. They will step over each other to get what the hell it is that they want, including a female. So any of this other shit anybody wants to say is absolutely a lie. And I'll be the first one to be the most unpopular one in the room, and I'll say it. Me as a woman with high testosterone, I was very competitive. I'm still very competitive.
Now I'm not. I don't know exactly if you said this. I'm going to read this chat, and if you said, I just want to know first. So let me ask.
I wasn't looking at the chat at all.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
sorry.
say it. American Talk Live says men have made women more masculine by being weaker.
There is a component to that. I would say there's a component to that, but in general, the governing that's ruling society has told women that you need to go do this and you need to go do that, and this is what your role is and that's what your role is. So you're already coming out the chute not knowing what the hell's really going on around you. You know what I mean? It's like a massive challenge. You're trying to figure out what's real and what's not real, and what works for you and what doesn't work for you, and you're already at a disadvantage because they're already messing with you. The big social experiment,
The only reason I disagree with something like that is no matter how much society, like if I'm a single man and I'm raising girls or boys, I would never say, hey, it's Mother and Father's Day and I'm both. or I would never be feminine. Like if I'm raising a daughter, I still wouldn't be feminine. I would just be masculine, and she would see
But
my
that's you.
masculinity.
But that's you. That's your standards. That's your old school standards. Those are my old school standards. That does not mean all these other kids after us who have been taught by their environment and from the media all the way into the school system, they've been taught to be soft. There's just soft, period. They don't even know how to get into a fight. They think fighting involves a pew
So
or
let's get
something
it
else.
let's get it to a definition. Do you
Yeah.
think it's social media and society that's doing that, or
Yes.
men are the blame for allowing it to happen?
Or society. Well, go ahead. I want to hear yours.
That's kind of unfair, though. I don't want to just pivot it all on to men, because all of the men after us have been just as pre-programmed as the women. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really want to just throw it onto the shoulders of men. But if you're talking about the older generations of men not standing up for what's right, then I will say yes, absolutely. But I'm not going to
You just got cut at the knees, meaning when you stood up as a man, it was like, oh, yes, toxic masculinity. Oh, this. And it became wrong to be a man.
Right.
If you say I'm a man now, you are condemned. I tell you what, man, tennis player always used to argue.
Oh, John McEnroe.
John McEnroe. He said a statement that said, Venus Williams is good.
Yeah.
But she would be in the top 200 if she was playing against a man.
Sure,
and
absolutely.
They just said that was sexist. How can you? She's the best woman in the world. How can you say that? So much so that when she said it, she was like, oh, I can't compete. The game is entirely different. It was okay. But for him to say what is true, she couldn't compete. And men play different. Men are stronger.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that, but they called him a sexist. So being a man is no longer celebrated.
Well,
but you know what? Let me say
that.
this real quick before I forget. Back in the day, if a man spoke up, it was respected.
Yes.
And then as time went on, it was like, oh, you're taking things too serious. Lighten up. It's just cute.
Mm-hmm.
To where they kind of demeaned a man for speaking up when they seen something wrong enough to, why say anything at all? Because all they're going to do is discredit it. And they're going to basically say, oh, it's just cute, leave it alone. But you repeat that cycle over and over and over again. And that's why it was softened when it came to men speaking against things. They're saying that that's not something you should do.
Yeah, but that became the tenor of the land. It became everywhere all at once, all of the media, everything all at once, right? So then you have to ask yourself the question, is this actually a natural progression with people, or is this being pushed down our throat like, well, everything else is? Like, here's another example, like during the virus thing, right? For the last 4 years, right? They shut the whole fucking country down. I was like, where's the men? Why are you capitulating? Why are you going along with it? And then I started looking at the church. I'm like, what the hell are you? Why are you going along with the flow?
Right.
So
I agree.
I can't just sit there and be a jerk and say it's all men's fault because we're one flesh.
Listen, morality and ethics came from everybody being in the church. When you start utilizing the church and learning ethics and morality and learning the different stories in the Bible that teaches you different things about how you should handle yourself in public and what is right and wrong, when you stop going to those things, obviously the world, transforms into something totally different. And I'm going to go ahead and read Darnell Elliott. Thank you for the $10 super chat again. And this is the Bible. If you're not religious, you're not religious. But hey, I am. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God. Deuteronomy 22:5. If somebody read that, they tell you to relax.
Well,
stop. It's not that serious.
Yeah, they made it illegal to preach against that type of stuff.
Right.
See how that works?
Thank you for the $10 super chat, Darnell.
So your words are a weapon against you, and you can be fined or jailed, or you know what I'm saying. So the church sold out in 1964. They really
wow,
did.
that's a specific time frame.
Oh hell yeah, yeah. When they said
1964.
that, yes, because they ruled that it was, you got to take God out of school, no prayer allowed, and all the rest of that, and the church didn't squeak. They didn't squeak then.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because their God is mammon. It is what it is. And so the what they teach in the church is nothing like what my dad used to teach. When I say I'm old school, you have no idea. I used to get into fights.
Right.
I got a broken nose from it. People they're soft. They're full of, let's just call it what it is, duplicity. And I hate to say the other word, but, sin. And they like it that way. And they don't want anything to change. And the easy route is the best route because there's no resistance. The path of least resistance is more appealing to people.
Exactly.
So that just makes you lazy and complacent and undisciplined.
Now, I know we keep saying this, but I want to say that the title of this is "Do Women Prefer Feminine Men?" And
I do not.
What I just Googled, like, sexy men today. I just wanted to see what is considered sexy men today.
I'm afraid. Let me see.
I am terrified.
So, like, this guy's a sexy guy.
Hell no.
The people below, all of these, like, that feminine attribute that where's he at? This guy, I guess he's a sexy guy. It's not me, it's not my poll. It's just
I know.
They're saying who are the sexy men today. That feminine type man. Even now, Brad Pitt don't even look like this, but they got Brad Pitt looking feminine. But that's how it is. Even when they put them on, they feminize the guys. So this is what they're liking. These are the sexy men today.
They're not even good looking. They're like very average.
But so it has to be that. And I say that because every show kind of shows a feminine side, and I don't know why that is. I just was watching the Jackal.
Oh, yeah, with Bruce Willis back in the day?
No, this was just a recent show, a British show. And
really?
Yeah, it's about the Jackal,
an assassin.
who was an assassin.
Right. Bruce Willis played that part.
The man's
he also played
man.
a bisexual man in that movie. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. This is the man's man. He going out killing everybody. Hand-to-hand combat, shooting people, don't care about nothing. And what do? They put him in the bisexual scene. And I'm like, what? Why do you have to? Look, let me tell you this. I'm on episode 9. He's married with a child. Yeah. I have not seen him kiss his child and not seen him kiss his wife. But I've seen him kiss a man.
Oh, see, it's part of the programming.
And this is the man's man. He's married, child, hasn't seen him been intimate with his wife. But with a man, he was all on him.
Mm-hmm.
And so it confuses me to say, go ahead.
No, just listen. Look at this response. There's a difference between sexy and handsome men.
I guess is that the same as when men say, "Oh, she's sexy and hot" versus beautiful? I guess maybe.
I don't know that's coming from a man, so we, I don't.
If you're good, don't speak for women when it comes for that. Just listen to what the women say on that. Okay, don't try to be a woman and try to decipher that. No, if you're handsome, you can also still be sexy.
Man, I'm looking at. I don't even know.
You can also be kind of ugly and be sexy, but that's more.
That's what I'm trying to say.
It's
to
attitude.
A lot of people. It's your attitude.
It's not all about looks.
Women want men to have battle scars. You know what I'm saying?
No, they don't, Ronan. They don't. Look at this.
Bruh.
This is 2004. The most handsome. Since he wanted me to use the word handsome, I looked up handsome. The most handsome men of 2024. These two guys.
Yeah, but that's not even American. Like that other guy's Korean.
But this is what they like. They like that Korean unisex. That guy right here, the Asian persuasion.
I dated a guy who looked like Patterson.
Yeah. So I looked up the word handsome, and this is what comes up. This is handsome.
No,
That's
not
handsome
really.
now.
Yeah, that comes right around. Hold up. When you pull up that screen, everybody has a echo.
Yeah, why do
Oh,
you
I'm
get an
sorry.
echo?
Yeah.
It might be because I'm sharing from another side. I apologize.
Oh,
Okay. So I
So I
think
sold
Drew
sexy.
hit it right on the nose. He said, "Have you noticed that the country of South Korea, with plummeting birth rates, have men that look super feminine? Look at the Korean boy bands, for example, all wear makeup. Very true.
Yeah.
The K-pop bands of the day, the K-dramas, all those guys are very feminine looking guys, that they think are attractive.
So Nova, I know what you're saying, and I'm in agreement with you. But are we just too old school? Because we asked the question, do women prefer feminine men? I just showed you from
No, because
2024.
no, you know why? Because humanity is long. Excuse me, sorry, I'm still trying to get over this thing. Humanity, at some point, the biology is going to push back. You understand? So if the biology, the hormones, and all the shit that they put in the water and all of the food, like from Kennedy is talking about getting taken out, well, honey, that's going to push testosterone back up. And when you start putting, that's what they don't want. They don't want the males in America with their testosterone back, because once they do, they're going to be SOL. Because I'm a broad who would pick up and fight right next to you. That's the type of bitch I am.
Right.
I'm a ride or die, honey.
Right. So that's the perfect timing for this $6.90 shilling or shekel from Israel. Nova Star sounds like she's a thick tenderoni.
What's a thick tenderoni?
Oh,
that's
exactly what you are.
No,
exactly
no.
what you are. Yeah.
No, that's all. That means you well built, like a.
She is well built. What
thoroughbred?
Have you seen Nova?
Thoroughbred.
Have you seen Nova?
Yeah, I got big boobs and a big butt.
Yeah. She's well built.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's supplying. She's as I would say, only dogs like bones. She got a lot.
Well,
of
thank you, sir. Thank you. And I like to weight lift, and I'm getting back into it again. So,
all right.
I don't like being weak or flabby. So, flabby is gross.
Yeah, I think this person is saying, I just saw Jackal series. That was a turn off for sure. Yeah, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it and
villainy.
I just didn't understand that. I was like, what?
Because the movie, if you looked
everything.
at the original movie with Bruce Willis in it, there was a part where he had to act in order to get access to a certain area where he wanted to do.
Yeah, now I understood it was
a
acting.
kill. Right, but even Bruce Willis did it in that part that he played in the movie. So I guess the series took that a little bit further with it and expanded on it, obviously, because now society, even back then, is more accepting of it than it was, when Bruce Willis did it.
Yeah, it's in everything. Like everything that I turn on, it's in everything. And it's kind of like the apocalyptic mindset. Hollywood for years, in case nobody knows this, and I used to get all the insider press junkets and kits, okay? I used to have to pay out of pocket to get that stuff, to get all the insider information. They've been showing people for years what it is that your future is going to be. And the reason they do that is because the more they show you things, and they've titled it under science fiction or whatever, the more you are apt to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a psychological.
They're planting the seed and then they're spoon feeding you the end result.
Yes. And that in that way, there's least resistance to it because you've already accepted it. It's already there. It's in your mind. I mean, if more people would turn shit off and stop spending the money and say, I'm not watching this crap,
right,
then you'd be far better off. But we're not doing that. That's why corn is so huge. You know what I mean? And why relationships and birth rates are so down. Because they're teaching you to be self-reliant, even sexually. You understand? So you're already an incel and you don't even know it.
My goodness. And so for those of you who have just joined, please watch the beginning of the podcast. What we showed was a lot of men who are feminine, who are attracting women, and a whole series of women who are liking feminine type men. They want to get their nails done together. They don't like Thor. They like Loki. They want a man who seems a little bit sweet. They want to be able to try their clothes on, get their hair done together. They want a man that's like their best girlfriend.
Like a sister.
Yes. And
Did
so
you look
this
up the stats on the longevity of relationships like that, marriages like that? I would imagine it's not very good. And if you're noticing, all these girls are very young.
I did not, because sometimes, well, I don't know. I don't know if I want to call them bi, or I don't know what to call them to find
What,
out the stats on that.
the chicks with the bisexual men? Yeah, we'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine there's much longevity to it, because you're going to get tired of it at some point.
Well, you know why I'm going to say you're incorrect? Because now there are a lot of women who are these boss bees. And because they're these boss bees, it's very difficult for them to get with a masculine man. And they want to be able to control men. They want
But
to,
I mean,
like
we
that
even had
control.
we even had lives where we talked about, you know, the LGBT community and how even within lesbian relationships, there's a lot of violence when those relationships break up. Women are very aggressive to each other in
Yeah,
those
so are
relationships.
the men, but they don't report it, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. Yeah, they beat the shit out of each other, but they won't report it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. We can open this up. We won't be on that maybe about 45
Okay.
minutes
I'll go
longer.
ahead. I'll go
See,
ahead,
this
Jeff.
is the thing. When they say like Kevin Samuels was feminine.
Was he?
What made no? That's just
No.
somebody.
I didn't think
this
so.
This is what they do, Nova. I've been called feminine. What women do is, not all women, in order to demasculate a man, he'd be like, he's gay. They're gonna say a few things. He's gay. He got a little dick. That's because that's nothing they can say. So
Okay.
They could have
but
been
when they-
bopping you for 5 years, but all of a sudden you got a small
Exactly.
wee-wee. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
and now you're gay. So that's their way to try to get back. Even though they know you're not, the best way to try to get a man to do that is to try to make him not be a man. But here's the thing. When it's a real gay person, they won't say that. They won't mention that. When it's a real person that they know is gay, they won't be like, oh, yeah, he's gay. Because the
Oh,
gay
I get it.
community want to go against them. They don't play that. But you'll say it to someone who you don't think he is. Because by saying that, let me ask Richard.
That's like dudes saying
by-
women are fat when they're wanting to get rid of them or mad at it. To get to them, you know, it's the same. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So my question to ATL would be, what difference would it have made? If he was feminine, did that invalidate any of his points? Because this is what they try to do. By saying he's feminine, that invalidates everything he said. Did it invalidate any of what he said?
No, the truth is truth.
Correct.
Truth is truth. It doesn't matter. You can try and dumb it down all you want. The truth is still, it stands for itself. I don't agree with any of that stuff. If that's how they feel about it, then they can stay single. You understand? I came on here one time and I said, you have a segment of the population that I put into the category of natural selection. You know, they
Right.
through their mindset, through their actions, they completely take themselves out of the game, out of the gene pool. Let them just go away.
I say the same thing. They can die off for all they care.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
and
useless
all
to
their
society
stupidity
anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But back in the day, look, let me play this one for you, because back in the day, this guy would have never been married. And this is the type of woman who would marry him and procreate and is happy with it. When you say
Okay.
die off, they're not dying off because it's becoming. And then we're going to bring you up a passport blueprint.
A bisexual girl thing, but I like men. I like women, right? I like
She's
women who don't have a
bisexual
type.
already.
I like men,
Yeah,
but I like feminine.
But listen to what she says. She has
Uh-huh.
no preference when it comes to women. No preference at all.
She's
It can be any
lying.
type of woman. That's what she's saying. But
She's
she has a
lying, but
preference
yeah,
when
she's lying
when it
though.
comes to men. Watch what she says about men and her husband.
So I don't know if this is just a bisexual girl thing, but I like men. I like women, right? I like women, don't have a type. I like men, but I like feminine men. Big, chunky, scary men. Oh my God, no. Literally could never. My husband paints his nails. And I'm like, yes, babe, so sexy. I just saw a video of a guy trying on skirts, and I sent it to my husband and was like, yeah, babe, you should wear a skirt. And I'm telling you, I like men, okay? I'm not like a lesbian in denial. I genuinely like men, and I obviously love my husband, but like feminine men. Like men, but like dress them up like princesses.
You see,
God,
I want a
I hope she
man.
doesn't have kids.
I want
I
a
hope she
man
doesn't have
who's dressed
kids.
up like a princess. That's what
She's
she's saying.
she's already weird though. That's not like a normal example of a you know what I mean? That's not a normal example of a heterosexual woman in a normal heterosexual setting. You're talking about somebody who's already a freak.
But
Seriously,
these
she's
are the
weird.
people who are going to back in the day. If you went back some time, these people would not be procreating. Today they are procreating, and they're teaching their children, hey, you can be whatever you want to be.
Yes, I know.
So,
Well,
hey, welcome Passport Blueprint.
Hi.
Let me shout this out real quick. Shout out to Darnell. I appreciate all your efforts, hyping up the trip and everything else. Darnell says, there are 8 of us in Ronan's chat. I have already donated $30. Ronan needs 7 more for his $10 super chats to accomplish his goal for the day. Give $10 to help watch God give back tenfold. Support a Marine. Listen to him trying to give out blessings on blessings on blessings. Go ahead, Darnell. And then I got to read this other one. True Prodigy, thank you for the $5 super sticker. Appreciate all the support for the channel. And then welcome Passport Blueprint. What do you have to say on the topic?
This whole dating thing is getting really, really confusing. It really is. Because it's confusing in a sense. You got women that want feminine men. You got women that date criminals, but they don't want the good men. It's really confusing.
I would agree with that.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And then they think that the good men are nerds because they got good jobs. I mean, look at guys like me and Ronan. We're good guys that do the right thing, that has good jobs. They may look at us nerds, but both for us, born bred military guys that have the capacity to delete someone because we were trained by the government to do so.
Which is sexy, by the way. Continue on.
Oh, really?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
You're talking to a violent woman. I can throw down if I've got to. So
Nova Star, we were.
Yes, sir.
Look,
We got to find more Nova Stars.
Yes, I was questioned by this gentleman.
An army of her.
I was questioned by this gentleman because I said, "Look, if I was taught by my father to hunt, like I hunt deer, turkey, all of those things.
That's cool.
I have all my hunting equipment." And I was told by the femman, "Oh, that's just out of touch." And I said, "Hold up. So
what?
For you, it's sexy to go to the store to get some meat, but it's not no longer sexy if I was to kill my own meat." But this is what they're saying. We are the Neanderthals.
So you already know an apocalyptic type of thing going on where you're going to be at. You're not going to be with that femboy.
Nope.
But why is today those same people who will eat a chicken nugget will tell you,
boys.
But they will tell you you're wrong.
Chicken nuggies.
Kill the chicken.
I can answer that. I think we live in a world of hypocrisy.
Yeah,
that's
pretty
what it
much.
is.
There you go.
We live in a world of hypocrisy. Hypocrisy is the new norm.
Yes.
Facts.
I would agree with that.
But why do they like that, Nova and Passport? Why is it that to them that's the attractive part?
You first.
Passport. Why are they attracted to that guy who couldn't go kill what he wanted? And it all reminds me of this, and I'll let you answer. If you remember in the movie, everybody remembers the line, "You can't handle the truth," in the movie A Few Good Men. That's not the line I remember. The line I remember is when he said something to the fact, "I guard these lines, and then you question. I bring you peace by holding the line, and then you question the very way in which I do it." Which I believe.
I remember that.
I'm doing some stuff you wouldn't want to know I'm doing. Don't question how it gets done. It's getting done because you live in safe because of what I'm doing. You just don't want to know what I'm doing.
Yep. I really don't know. It's just society has just gotten weirder and weirder. We lost common sense. We really have. And maybe maybe it is social media that's a part of it.
Oh yeah.
But
If
it's
they
not
tell
that.
you to move left, then they want to go right. If you say go right, they want to go left. They want to just always be the opposite of whatever it is that you're doing or whatever you say is the truth, which by default makes you a liar and an asshole in my book. So
But Passport Blueprint, we're not even just talking about the new generation. We have a gentleman in the comment, Richard, which is America Talk Live, who has said on more than 5 occasions, get in touch with your feminine side. You know, he
no.
said he attracted his women by being feminine. And that women don't like the masculine. When you go to that channel that we are not allowed to talk about, that's all said over there. And the women are amening him. Yes, you're right. Yes, you dated a girl for a whole
So they're
year.
feminists. Is that what it is?
Yes,
Oh no,
absolutely. He calls
Nova.
See?
He calls himself the male
Male
feminist. What do you mean?
Oh, well, so he's basically being like a psychopath and pretending to be something he's not really, just to get what he wants anyway. So what do you mean? You know what I mean?
Right.
You say pretend. I say he believes it.
Whatever. I don't believe in feminism. So.
So Passport Blueprint is
And they're
not the new
probably young.
generation. Yeah, we have no, he's 40, 42.
No, the
We
broads,
have
I mean, are they young? Like,
I that's still out for debate. I don't know. That's a whole different story. But
okay.
Passport Blueprint, what do we do? What do we do when women don't like real men anymore?
We go out in the world and find the ones that do like real men, because they still do exist. Because
Yeah, they
each
sure
society
do.
is different. Each society is different. We go find the ones that still do and procreate with them.
Right.
And the heck with everybody else. Let them die off.
Exactly.
So
And
we're saying that
even here in the United States, there's still those type of women that that still believe in that old school stuff. Hey, seek those women out and just roll with them and stuff, and heck with everybody else.
Pretty
Let them die
much.
off. Let them be lonely when the time comes and they're still lonely with kids and all that stuff, or they're just lonely because nobody wants them because of their viewpoints and stuff. Let them be, because they'd rather embrace stupid ideology that makes no sense.
Correct. I agree with that. That's exactly what I've said before, and I would agree with it again. Yeah, just leave them alone. Let them do their thing. If they snap out of it, they snap out of it. If they don't ever, whatever. It's not my problem. It's their problem.
But how do you compete then with the media? I showed one video where a guy was at lunch.
You hold frame. You maintain.
But not even media. The guy was at lunch. A girl's doing like this with her throat, so she's choking. He walks up, he gives her the Heimlich, taking care of her. He said a week later he's called in the HR because she said that when he pressed doing the Heimlich, she could feel his natural body parts. And he's like, I just saved your life. Yes. And so women are saying to men, you're not being a man. You wouldn't help me fight. You wouldn't help me. Well, guys are at the point where they're like, I don't know what to do anymore. If I help you, I'm getting in trouble. If I don't help you,
I'm feeling you up if I'm helping you.
Yes. Or just in any way. Like if I jump in this fight, you're going to say that you was a strong woman and I can do it all by myself. If I don't, you're going to look and say, there goes all the weak men. How do we navigate as men?
Well, if they're getting in a fight and they're in a situation with their significant other, just be a good witness. Whip out a camera, record it, call the police, and that's it.
Oh, you're not a man for recording. You're not going to help?
Nope. Because you know what happens with domestics and stuff like that. They'll flip a script and say you're the one that started it.
That's
right.
true.
And they're right back with the same dude, or he's right back with the same chick right after the whole altercation.
So
real quick, let me read this $10 super chat from Darnell. I have showed you all things how that so laboring ye ought to support the weak. to remember the words of the Lord Jesus, how he had said, it's more blessed to give than to receive. Acts 20:35. Thank you for that super chat.
Darnell,
By the
go
way,
ahead and send me a
Darnell is
super
on the
chat,
panel.
brother. Yeah, send me a super chat. Send Nova Star a super chat because it is more good to give
Share
than
the
receive.
wealth, my brother.
I would say navigate carefully, but still maintain what's right. Because if we don't maintain what's right, the whole thing is going to implode. You understand? Just because everybody else is going crazy doesn't mean we have to join in and help and aid it and coddle it. I've said for a long time with people, I'm like, we need to stop allowing people who are crazy to take the floor and control the narrative. You have to shut them down and shut them up before it gets out of hand. But nobody's been doing that. We just let them babble on and babble on. You know, I'm not for that. I'm okay with shutting people up and shutting them down.
Right. My thing, and same thing, Nova, is to be silent is to be complicit.
Yeah, it is.
And that's
exactly.
why you see so many
to do
more
nothing is doing something.
Right. That's why you see a lot more Generation X guys coming out and starting to speak up. A lot more different guys are coming out. Graybeard and a whole bunch of other guys are speaking to the truth of what really is going on right now, you know, and not being quiet anymore. So there are a lot more guys that are stepping up and speaking out to what's going on in society.
Well, good. That's a little bit of hope, isn't it?
Yeah. So Darnell, come on and join the conversation. Don't blast us out though. Don't blast us out though. Control that mic. All right, go ahead.
How is it? I got a different mic. How is it? Pretty good.
It's a lot better than before. You're not yelling.
Yeah. I mean, great conversation. I just wanted to say something from earlier. You know, when I super chatted earlier about women want, you know, an all-in-one package in a man. What I meant by that is, it's like, okay, it's not that women dislike real men. It's just basically you got, you know, there's no such thing as the perfect man. There's no one here is perfect. Okay.
No, nobody.
And the thing is, though, I do feel like women, you know, ask for a lot. Like a lot of times you hear about the 80-20 rule, you know, where a man, he's lucky if he gets 20%, you know, half the time he's happy, you know, versus a woman, if she ain't getting 100%, you know, then, you know, something's wrong, you know what I'm saying? And so she might look for a reason in a relationship or whatever have you. And case in point, you could use shows like Pop the Balloon and stuff like that. How many times you seen on that show where, or even the Kendra G show, or I'm sorry, not Kendra G. What's that other one? Pineapple Show, where women are quite dismissive. They look for the first thing, like, oh yeah, those shoes. I don't like those shoes. I mean, you know, you look good, but I don't like those shoes. You know, it kind of just shows, in my opinion, how picky, you know, women are.
With Darnell, they say it all the time. They say that I want a gangster who's soft. I want a guy who's a lawyer, but he's also a criminal. I want him to be.
It's a fantasy, though. It's not realistic.
Right.
But at the same time,
fantasy is confusion.
Well, I think I don't think it's. I don't think it's necessarily confusion. What I think it is, and you know, Miss Nova, starting to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's kind of the Captain Save-A-Ho dynamic, except in reverse. Whereas similar to a man that, you know, goes out and dates a stripper or whatever, you know, I think that some women out there feel the need to date that thug and try to change him. You know, they see. Hey, Miss Nova Star, you're not alone. You know, you're not alone. You got good company. So no one's knocking you.
No, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm resisting all that stuff these days. You know, because you can't fix the train wreck. You really can't. The train wreck has to want to fix themselves. That's how it has to happen first. But women do that shit all the time because we want to fix things. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Men want to fix things. They want to rescue. Women want to fix it up because you have potential, and we want you to see your potential.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I
That's
believe.
very true.
Yes, ma'am. It certainly is, and not only that, but then you also got like the tough guy or the thugs or whatever have you. Um, if even though she that woman might not be his only woman, a lot of times, because that's his woman. Like he's going to fight for her. You know what I'm saying? That thug is going to fight for her. He will throw down in the street. If you disrespect her. You know what I'm saying? So. I think that also turns women on versus where, okay, a guy saying working in IT or whatever, the nerd working in IT, another guy on the street disrespects his woman and chances are he ain't going to fight back.
Yeah, it's a lot of guys these days. Yeah. But I mean, but do you really need to fight over everything? No, not really.
Yeah, but I think that it goes to defending. You ever heard the term defending a woman's honor?
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I think it boils down to.
Just make sure it's a woman's honor worth defending.
Exactly.
Oh, absolutely.
Facts.
Exactly.
But Fearless, Ronin, Passport Blueprint. You guys know, just recently, I was dating. I went and dated a woman. I thought, if I fix her radiator, you know what I'm saying? Hey, that's a manly thing, right?
Yeah.
But hey, see, Miss Novastar, she said it's manly. She said it was manly.
It is.
So,
But Nova, don't agree so quick. He's leaving a lot out.
Oh, okay. I don't know what's going on.
Well,
I'm not just
he
fixing
is
stuff in
leaving
general.
a whole hell of a lot out.
Oh.
I didn't leave nothing out. I paid. I paid for the parts. And I did the labor.
How many parts? It wasn't just the radiator. How many parts?
Yes, radiator. No, actually, she does need a new engine, but it's not worth putting a new engine in there. She's got a 2014 Jeep.
He basically rebuilt her engine so she could drive it.
Well, I didn't rebuild the engine.
Okay,
I
so
just
what did you do?
I replaced.
Is this your girlfriend?
Girl, he met her on a Thursday and he rebuilt the engine on a Friday.
Darnell, you can't do that stuff, man.
And then they took her to Fogo de Chao on Saturday.
Yes, he did all that and then drove her to Fogo
de
damn
Chao
restaurant. Yeah, I
met
can't
her
even
on
say
a
the damn
Thursday,
restaurant.
rebuilt the engine on a Friday, took her
And
to
still
Fogo
took
de
her out
Chao
on a date.
Friday.
Right.
And then wondered why she
are you opening
was like,
are you opening a charity?
Darnell,
Well,
hey, Drew said it best. Drew just said it. Darnell ain't dating; he is sponsoring.
Oh man! But hey, I shot my shot. I gave it a good.
That's a big shot.
You pulled out your wallet. You didn't shout your shot. You pulled out your wallet.
I thought you were bleeding with your wallet, sir. Last time we had this conversation.
But see, that's the thing. I wasn't leading with the wallet. I was leading with my hands, my work. And I thought that would be impressive.
You don't do that. You don't do that for women who just come walking down the street or something. You do that for women who are actually in your life, not that. That's too superficial and. Yeah, no.
But how's that superficial? I mean, her car was overheating.
Because they are just an acquaintance. It's a superficial encounter. There's no relationship. There's no commitment. There's nothing. She's nothing.
Oh, okay. So the encounter is superficial, not me being superficial.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. I understand that.
You didn't know her well enough to do all of those things. There was no return on investment. You were trying to impress her with your wallet.
Right,
and then hope, and there's going to go.
And then that's the key word right there, Nova. Hope.
You're hoping to get something out of your good deed. You can't do that.
It turned out it was a dry as a Mojave Desert. He got nothing. He got nothing.
Yeah. I took the L, but but the thing is that if I was trying to leave my wallet, I just would have. Oh yeah. Let's go I'll take it to the shop. I'll pay for everything. And then when I found out that she was driving it overheating for so damn long that she's about to blow a gasket.
I can't do it, man. And no offense, man, You are the man that these women are seeking, these nowadays women. And you're messing it up for us masculine men.
I don't see it. Well, wait a minute. How many of you men can replace a cooling system? How
It
many
don't
men?
matter.
It does matter.
I'm not going to do it on the first date.
I should have had.
I mean,
You can
that's fine,
replace.
but
Look, I tell you what. You replace that cooling system, and I'm gonna replace them pipes. So,
you know what that remind me of? That remind me of what Black Man Travel said the other night. Y'all remember? He was with a girl. You know, she was on the phone with another dude or whatever,
Right.
but he's with the chick.
Right.
That's what that reminds me of when you just said that, Fearless.
Well, see, the problem is, Darnell, is this: she's just going to use you while she's going to be with someone else, and that's because you move too quick with your money.
Correct.
You got to just keep it as what it is, and that's just it's a superficial relationship at this point. Don't need to be going above and beyond trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no, I already cut that. I already cut it off. But as far as the leading with the money again, if that was the case, I would have said, hey, let's go to the shop and I'll pay for it. I didn't do that. I'd say, hey, I'll do the work for you.
That
You know
would
what I'm
have cost
saying?
you even more. What do you mean?
I wouldn't even have done that.
Yeah, why was that your responsibility? All right, let me ask you this: had you even kissed her before you did all that repair work?
Nope.
Why was it your responsibility?
Well,
no, I'm going to shut up. I want Nova.
Thank you.
To talk because she's a woman.
She's just an acquaintance. She's a stranger. Why are you doing this stuff? And you keep doing it and you're repeating the behavior because the last time we talked months ago, you were doing this and you said you were going to stop. Like, when's it going to stop? Actually, stop.
Well, but that's the thing, Miss Nova Star. Like again, you know, back in the past, like I was buying jewelry and all. You know,
I know,
I was
but it
really
has to
simping
stop.
back in the day.
So
That was
you're
simping.
getting better or worse?
So what he's saying is, I'm not an alcoholic. I used to drink a pack a day, but now I only drink one beer.
Drinking a little.
It's
It's not hard alcohol anymore. It's just a beer. Bud Light. No, you can't do that. She's just a stranger. You're just attracting narcissistic broads. That's all you're doing. You're just attracting predatorial type of women, like, and then you feed them, and then they go away. You can't do that.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, granted, you know, the situation didn't go according to the plan, but I'll be honest with you. I don't really think she was that bad of a woman.
The situation went according exactly to her plan. What do you mean? It went. It was exactly
there was no courting. It's I'm going to do this for you, and then hope to get something in exchange. It's not how it works.
Well, I mean that wasn't my intention, but you know,
tell the truth, shame the devil. That wasn't your intention.
I mean, dude, that's a lot to just for a one night stand. I mean, why don't I just go down to 27th Ave and go, you know, give a chick $100?
You tell me why you didn't choose to do that versus spending all this money on somebody and you didn't get anything from it.
Well, I mean, like I said, I was trying to. I ain't gonna lie, I was trying to impress her. You know, I thought, okay, mechanically inclined man, you know, that's impressive. And, you know, I was wrong.
I have a question. What point of your life did doing this give you a reward system that kept you going and doing it over and over again? When did you do this? When was the first go that you got the reward out of this behavior?
That's a great question.
The first reward out of the behavior, I would say sometime between 08 to 2011 or something like that.
It worked for you to do that? It worked? It worked?
No.
Not exactly, no.
It did not.
That's
because you're talking about the Brazilian chick. The one that you were engaged to.
Oh, right? If that's what you're talking about, our engagement was 2015. So in that case, it's a bit different.
Wasn't that the same situation? You had a relationship with the Brazilian chick. You guys were engaged. You wind up calling it off. Were you ever with her in an intimate way?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so you were engaged to her. That got
Mhm.
broken off because of long distance. Then you met her friend. Have you been intimate with her?
No.
But you were supporting her lifestyle.
During the pandemic, yes.
What made you do that when you weren't getting anything from her, but your fiance, you were actually getting a little bit of something from her to maintain her lifestyle? What made you change up?
Well, in the case, as far as her friend goes, it wasn't. Again, it didn't start out as something sexual. I was not expecting any kind of sexual return or anything like that. I'll give you the Cliff Note version, but we all remember 2020. World
Yes,
shuts.
pandemic. Right.
Yeah. Anyway, Brazil, it was practically at the time it was practically a death sentence, and she lived
Why
in the
is it your
favelas.
response? You keep giving excuses, man. Why is it your
I'm not giving any excuses. It was
It
not my
is.
responsibility. I didn't
said.
have to do it. I didn't have to do anything.
Then
All
why are
right. The
you
thing
doing it?
was,
Why are you doing it?
in her case, like I said, she was a friend of mine. I was supposed to be the godfather of her daughter. Had my marriage gone through with
But it had
fiance.
not. You broke up with her fiance, which was her best friend.
Yeah. But the thing is that, she was a friend of mine and she also gave me the closure that I needed. Because when my ex-fiance left, I ain't gonna lie, I was in shambles with no answer. Yeah.
So here's my thing. Thinking back on this, hindsight being 2020, do you think she saw you as an opportunity to take advantage of you because she knew how you were with her best friend?
Absolutely.
No, she waited.
Absolutely.
You just
She
heard
waited.
a woman. Listen. You just heard the woman say exactly her mindset, and you just.
But
said
she
no.
doesn't. That's because she doesn't know that I knew her for about 5 years prior to the pandemic.
It doesn't mean anything. She just seen you as another trick. And every time, Darnell, I'm sorry, brother, you make
But she didn't.
excuses for these people. Let me hear every excuse for this. The woman I just took the photo to check, she's a good woman. She doesn't call me back anymore. She doesn't call me back anymore. She won't answer my calls, but she's a good
I mean, just because she is not into me doesn't make her a bad woman.
Oh Lord Jesus!
I mean, what am I supposed? What am I supposed to do? Like call her a bitch and all this other stuff, and be the incel?
No, you don't get yourself into the situation to begin with.
And a good woman would not have accepted those things that you were giving with the knowledge that she wasn't into you.
I mean, I agree with that statement, but again, there are certain other things that, in my belief, I think she's a good woman. Just because, again, she's not into me, it doesn't make her a bad woman. I mean, I'm telling you, man, she's got a lot going for her. And if she just stay on her path, she's going places.
Yeah, she going places because her car work now.
She didn't have to pay for it.
Exactly. She going a lot of places.
You freed her finances up just enough to get somewhere else to do it to somebody else. You're not going to strip clubs doing this shit too, are you? Like, are you picking up? Like, you go in there and be like, yo, baby, I'll marry you. I'll take care of you. And she's like, oh, yeah, I hope you're not doing that too. Because the same thing.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
Well, you need to stop. Like, legitimately don't do any of this anymore. Like, don't spend money on people who are just wandering through.
So let me ask you a question, Darnell, because this is the topic. Do you think that woman viewed you as a masculine man or a simp type man?
The woman I took the Fogo de Chao?
Yes.
I'll say probably views me as a simp more than likely.
Yes. Somebody take advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Nova, it goes back to these women, and maybe, they like that type of man because this is what they can get.
No, they don't. That's where I disagree with you, Phil. They don't like that type of man. It's just, he's a lick. You know what I'm saying? He's an easy target.
That's you like easy targets. They like easy targets. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, you've always got the predator section of the population that goes male and female. It's no different than men preying on women who are, emotionally weak or immature or whatever, and they use them up and then they spin them out. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah, yeah.
difference.
I think what's going on is they have two of them. They have the simp to pay for all their stuff, but they also got the what I like to call the America's Most Wanted, the thuggos, on the side for the romance and all that other stuff. That's what I think is going on in today's society. They have
Oh,
two.
they absolutely do.
Yeah. So
That's why they
and they
have
go.
multiple phones, and
Mhm.
they have a phone book, or they have at least 10 dudes in their phone. One's a good date, one's a good meal, one knows how to fix cars, one can come and blow her back out whenever she wants, and it goes on. The list goes on for whatever they want,
But
and
she
they
has
blow
a
these guys up whenever they want.
I want to welcome Joe to the show, and also obstacles to opportunities. Joe, how you doing today? What do you think about our topic? Do women prefer these feminine men? If you tuned in from the beginning, there was a lot of women who loved those femme guys. They get their nails done together and wearing each other's clothes.
But they're also on the internet. You need to do this with regular broads on the street and ask them. You know what I mean? Like we're already targeting the most narcissistic and like look at me type people.
Fearless, can I ask you real quick, that video clip of that you had played, did that come from like 20 years ago, like during the height of the metrosexual movement?
Which one?
The
one where
No, that was recent.
That was recent? That was recent?
Which one is he talking about? The one which
the guy with the nails, the pink nails.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's like a couple
Yeah,
weeks
he was
ago.
so sweet, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Sweet. He was so sweet.
Yeah,
20
I'm
years
sure-
ago, they
that
didn't
as a
have
positive.
but I'm
they
sure
didn't have
you
no
were
jail
turned
machines
on
you
by
can
that.
get at work.
No, you don't.
Oh,
you,
not turned on.
well, you don't remember that show, Chrisley Knows Best or whatever? That was the height of the metro. They called it the metrosexual movement.
Well, now they're going way beyond that. But
Mm.
Joe, how do you welcome to the show, Joe? How do you feel about that? And I know obstacles will be up next. If you remember, we had a show last week and we were talking about masculinity. Women wanted this masculine man. And I thought about it because it seemed that maybe he was either drunk or in his right mind. We don't know. High, drunk, could have been. American Talk Live kept coming on saying, no, I'm a feminine man. And I'm into my feminine energy, and women like that. And I wanted to do some research to find that out. And this is what I came up with. So, Joe, how do you feel about the masculine energy? But these women are liking the Korean guys that look like women, the feminine men. What say you?
like the K-pop version
Yeah.
of.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mentioned yesterday, I gave I guess, not so extreme example with Prince, and the modern version is like the K-pop looking dudes. I guess you call them metrosexual. Most men, when we look at them, we see, oh, that person is wearing a little bit of eyeshadow, or they painted their nails or whatever. But women seem to flock to them. And then the question then becomes why. I think some men will even call Michael Jackson quite feminine as well. Like they don't look at him and think Arnold Schwarzenegger. So you know what? It's a mystery to me. I just know it doesn't work for me. I find it easier to be more so just like, not stoic, but just kind of like just more masculine in my nature and my energy and the way I carry myself. Um, I'm just not built that way, and for whatever reason, women are drawn to that. Maybe it's because these men look a lot like them, so they can relate to them more.
They feel
But
more
then you
safe for
say it
some of
again.
them. They feel more safe for some of them.
Safer, which would
Hmm.
explain why women prefer to be around, or when they have male friends, they prefer that the man be gay. They feel
But
security.
it's a deceptive safe is the problem.
In what way?
Yeah,
Because
explain that.
guys who do that also can blend in and then be just as much of the predator as the man that they're worried about, who's extra masculine. You understand? And they go undercover and they don't detect it until it's too late.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, you know what?
That's why when a lot of women are like, "Oh, my gay best friend," my biological mom, her name is April, she was like, every girl should have one best gay friend. And I looked at her and I was, first of all, I know she's crazy. I asked her why she thought that way. And she was like, because, you know, they're like a girlfriend and you don't have to worry about them with men around. And I was like, no, you're stupid because they use women to get to the straight men. That's how stupid she is.
Oh,
I know you say that, Nova. I was in Colombia, and there's two clubs that are next to each other.
Yeah.
So when you walk out of the club, they have like benches that like face the club.
Mm-hmm.
The club on the left was a gay club. Not gay. There were some gay men in there, and maybe a gay club with both lesbian in there. And then there was a straight club. So when we come out, you're like, you know, sitting on the bench. And when I looked over, I seen these gay dudes. I mean, they was gay. And I seen them with the finest women in that club. That was then they weren't in the club I was at. I looked over, I was like, damn, superstars. And they would, why
it's
is
status. Because it's status, just like for a straight man. It's a show pony, arm candy. It's the same principle. Just because they're gay doesn't mean they don't have the same propensities. You understand? That doesn't mean anything.
Use those women, that beauty, for exactly what Phyllis just described. When he described it, he said, "Oh my God, over there is." But so it's the gay man's tactic of using that beauty and to entice someone like myself and Phyllis to go over and say, "That's where the beautiful women are." So then the gay man can swoop in and say,
And then that's also where the other men are going to be.
Yeah.
With the beautiful other women. And it opens up avenues. Here, I'm going to give you the lowdown. This is how it works for all you straight gentlemen out there, okay? It seems like it's all fun and games and shits and giggles at first, right? Until that gay guy gets real cozy with you. And the next thing you know, he's playing around with you. And the next thing you know, they're crossing lines with you. And the whole goal is to get a straight man to be turned out, just like they do with women. Because it is a game and it's a status symbol to take a straight man and get him to go the other way. And they do it through play, they do it through drugs, they do it through alcohol, they do it through status, they do it through coercion. Okay, there's no difference. They're predatorial towards you, straight dudes. That's how it works.
Yeah, now I can.
She ain't lying.
I'm not lying.
But when I'm looking over there, I'm looking at the woman.
Yeah, I know
what
you
makes
are.
That woman, but what makes that woman go to that guy? What is she getting?
Because
a shopping buddy.
Yeah, it's the appearance of something that's not really there.
Safety.
Yeah, safety, man's company, but a best friend, supposedly, when most of them will stab you in the back, to be honest with you. So it's an illusion. And, you know, if that's what they like, we used to call them, God, I can't use the term, FAG hags. Okay.
Yeah.
They got a term. There's a term for that.
An obstacle, before I bring you up, brother, because we're going to talk about, we used to talk about masculinity last week and we was on it. But in the chat, I just want to make sure that Nova Star is here. And in the chat, we have Richard, which is the American Talk Live. And this is the same gentleman that has told us that we are the Neanderthals, that we need to get into our feminine side, and that women don't like this masculinity no more. And so he said that he used to get women by being feminine. I just want him to talk to you and you guys to talk to each other.
So Obstacle is the man who said that to you?
No, Richard is.
Oh, Richard is. Okay.
Obstacles is the man that said
before he talks to me, give me the rundown. Is this a guy married? Because he's obviously older. No, okay. So then he's running game. You're running game, sir. You're using it as a way just to get some ass.
Actually, he's like 70 years old, ma'am. I don't think he's
celibate.
Yeah,
and he's celibate.
Yeah. But anyway, let Obstacles go ahead and talk, and then we can bring in.
Or you want Richard to talk or Obstacles to talk?
Obstacles was next.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, shout outs to everybody, first of all. So much respect to everybody.
And not to interrupt Obstacles, this show is for you because last week we talked about masculinity and we're saying how much women were attracted to masculinity. And I wanted to do some research and we were showing that some of today's women like feminine men. So
Yeah.
what say you? How do we explain that?
Well, I mean, I also know that women like a lot of things, and
Mm-hmm.
they like a lot of different things at different times.
Mm-hmm.
They like
It
to
changes.
experience and change. We don't. So you know what I'm saying? We're not out here like, let me try to kiss a man, see what that feel like. We don't do
Yeah.
stuff like that mostly.
Mostly,
But
yeah.
women, they do that. They explore. And so I think most
Not
guys
all of us,
use
but yes.
yeah, not all, not all.
Yeah.
So, all right, anything I say going from this point doesn't mean every single woman. It just means like good majority,
Yeah.
not putting a percentage on it, right? But net, they like to explore, and they're more sexually diverse than men
Yeah.
are. Men, we're just one thing, one way specifically, and a lot of men just like even when they have sex with a woman, they're like they want to do it the same way every time. Like they're just like one track minded. So
Creatures of habit.
net, creatures of habit, yeah.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, I think we get that confused. And then we don't understand if you're an alpha man, you might be like, what are they doing? Why don't they be a real man like me? That's not what they do. That's not even actually fitting their archetype, probably. Like for somebody who's 5'5" to be running around acting like an alpha man, it might not even hit the same way as you being 6'2" trying to be an alpha man. So their
True.
route to get the woman is going to be different. They're going to dirty Mac. You might not see it as bad. You be like, I'll never dirty Mac. And they like, dirty Mac ain't got me the girl I wanted. They
Wait,
might want
what's dirty
something.
mackin'?
I was just like talking negative about another guy. Like,
Oh,
oh my gosh,
okay.
she's so bad for you. I would
Sorry, I
never
didn't
do
mean to interrupt, but
something
I didn't
like
know what it
that.
meant.
Yeah, right. Little lingo there. So I think we just have to realize that. And when it comes to being feminine and taking on these traits, that's also an angle. That's game. I think
Yeah.
Nova Star said it right about Richard. Like, I'm not mad at him doing the things he do. He probably doesn't want to do my archetype or built to do it and forged to do it. He's like, hey, look, I'm more feminine and I come at women this way. And that's his game.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, everybody
There you
can't
go.
be the alpha. You think
It's a sales pitch.
we mostly think, hey, look, we have a tribe or we have a bunch of animals, right? And there's
Mhm.
males and then there's also females. And there's one alpha that has access to a lot of the women. We think all the other men must compete with him on the alpha level in order to get access. No, a lot of other beta males, they go different routes. So they'll pick the little, bugs out of hair as the monkeys and then talk to her sweet when the alpha's out doing things, trying to get access to the box. So everybody has a different angle. They don't try to be an alpha and go fight the alpha in order to get access. They'll just take a different route. And I think that's what we're getting confused. A lot of men are just taking different routes. We might not agree with them because it ain't for us,
Uh-huh.
but it's for those men. And some women like that.
And if it works, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I actually don't blame them.
Mhm.
Like I don't blame them
No,
trying
I
to
don't
sell
blame
my
them.
position.
If they're
I
stupid
mean,
and
look,
fall for it, let them. Go for it.
Yeah,
Sales
I
pitch.
prefer
Everything's a
not to
sales
go
pitch.
that route just because it could make me a weaker man just in everything else in life. You might be able to show up the girl, right? But me wearing the pants like you were showing earlier, very below my waist and that little small crop top, I'm good. But maybe, if I could sing and I'm Prince, it might be okay. But if I'm an average guy, like I'm not doing that. But again, that's just my angle. This is the path I've chosen. That's the path he's going to chase to get access to it. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's a sales pitch. Everything's a sales pitch.
Yeah, there you go.
It
Oh, by the
really
way,
is. And it comes down to what works for you and what doesn't. And a lot of guys who do that, would you call it dirty macking? Would you call it?
yeah. So you know
Yeah,
what this
dirty
is?
macking. Yeah.
What this looks
That's
like?
simp behavior.
What this
That's
looks
simp
like
Yeah.
is
behavior.
that
You know,
it's the
guys
guy.
who will stab you in the back so that way they can ruin chances with the other females around. You know, that's
I mean, back in the day, we used to
beta
call it
shit.
cock blocking.
Yeah, it's also beta shit, beta male stuff. Yeah.
But I'm sure you've had it happen to you, too, Nova, where most women have, where it's the guy that you can go to, that you can cry on his shoulder, and oh man, why you with that guy anyway? That's that guy. Oh, yeah, I broke up with my boy. Yeah, well, you always got me. I got you. And then you somehow end up in his bedroom, and he's like, how did this happen? I guess we're a couple now. He's like, yeah, I guess we are. That is.
So Richard, Welcome to the channel once again, sir. I appreciate you watching my other channel. I'll put that in the chat. Thank you for your comments. And I told you, you said some things last week that got me thinking. And as this show is dedicated to you, the feminine man.
Greetings to the panel, the chat.
Your levels are fine, Richard.
How are my levels?
God damn it.
Fine.
Oh, I couldn't wait to get up here.
Cool. Let's go. I'm ready. Are you ready for me? Because I'm ready for you.
Lego.
I like the way that
Just to let you know, Richard, this is not the Z word channel. So this is a real woman. This is not a feminist. This is a real woman. So
Straight up. Let's go. What do you want to say, Richard?
And I think she likes me. I think she likes me.
Okay.
Notice there's silence after that statement.
I
right?
don't have. I don't like or dislike. I don't know you, sir. So let's talk. What's going on?
That happens to me a lot, Nova. Women who don't know me tend to like me.
Okay. Cool.
Right?
Congratulations, you played yourself. Congratulations, you played yourself.
Catching on now. You're catching on now. Look at my boy over there.
You've got and you play the feminist role to get in with all of the weak women who are on birth control and are easy to be sidelined. Now tell me what else is going on.
Wow.
Let me know.
I just have a quick question, Nova. Would you be interested in coming to Thailand?
Not at this time. No, thank you, sir.
Are
you in Thailand?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. That changed. Are you hanging out in all the brothels or something? What are you doing over there?
Wasting my time as a retiree.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Talking to these frogs, trying to educate them about love and life.
Okay.
So let me begin.
Oh my God! Here's the long dissertation that we're about to go through.
Well, let's do a shorter dissertation. I'm a quick study. So what's going on?
Sure that
Miss Nova Star, Miss Nova Star, don't be around this man when he has a grenade in his hand.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, back up, everybody, back up. All right, look. So this is what I wanted to say. I wanted to clarify my position on a previous show, on a previous episode, where I said, and I've joked about this because I'm always working on comedy, but I don't do comedy, but I think I'm kind of funny, comedic, but I said, I got more women being more feminine than masculine, and I was fascinated and am always impressed by Fearless's incredible research and the material that he brings to this panel. It makes me want to come back because I know y'all not playing, and these are serious discussions, and I'm here for that. Period. I might joke around a lot. When I talk about throwing flashbangs in a room, it's a joke that didn't land. Kind of bullshit. It's just me like trying to bring some comedic levity to this conversation. But the fact of the matter is this: when I said, when we talked about this, and as it has been misrepresented so many times about Richard is talking about being more feminine, I was fascinated by the research that Fearless came up with. But aside from all of that, because I think that validated some of what I was hoping to get across in some of our previous conversations. Now, I'm not going to take up too much more time. I just found a parking space because these guys land planes. I don't fly planes, but I could drive a car. So I'm going to put it in park in a minute. My point being that men and women have both spiritual sides, at least evolved men and women. And I thought to myself, any one of these men would be.
May I ask, what does evolved mean? When you say evolved, can I ask what that means before you continue?
I was going to answer that part. I was going to clarify that part. Meaning that any one of these men would be complimented by anybody if they called them a gentleman.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Well, part of that is the dichotomy of our spiritual our spiritual nature. We have a manly part, men, and we have a gentle side. My theory is that, and I haven't figured this out yet, but the gentle side comes from the softer side of man, which can only be tapped into through his acknowledging that feminine side, that it exists in him. Women who have to be what modern men might seem masculine have to tap into what they also have as a masculine side. So that's all I'm saying. The Al-Rahman, the Al-Rahim, the yin and the yang of life, the fullness, the evolution of a person is being able to tap into both of those sides. As a father has a daughter and will let the daughter put on makeup at the tea party, just him and her. As a mother has a son who, like Lamar Jackson's mother, taught him football and practiced with him in the backyard because the father wasn't there. We as divine creatures, and I don't mean to be too preachy here, have the ability to tap into both sides. My pushback, I just found a parking spot. Let me back it up. My pushback to these brothers is me being a gentle man to a woman got me way further than being a knuckle dragging trog who's like, I'm the man. Look at my chiseled jaw. Look at my six pack. Look at my biceps. I learned how to recreate myself in a way that women find me at least talk-toable. They'll converse with me. I can have deep conversations with them, and I give them this safe space through my gentle side to open up to me. And that works.
Don't you listen to these funky ass niggas tell you shit.
They're not really chill guys. They wear perms.
These black and mild smoke gums having ass niggas.
Always got their nails done. But
don't you listen to these funky ass niggas tell you shit.
Community.
These niggas got holes in their socks right now. Don't you listen to them?
But they're very flowery. They're very flowery. But people like, so that's why I parked the car.
Richard, but what you said to us before, we were too masculine. We were Neanderthal. That you actually, knuckle draggers. You said that you were actually, you attracted women with your feminine side, that you were feminine when you attracted women. And I was stating that I don't
say that. Your Honor,
right now, don't you?
Your Honor, please strike that from the testimony. I never said that. Never said that, man.
Look,
go back, watch the
all
tapes.
you're telling me is that when in Rome, you blend in with the Romans. That's all you're telling me. You understand? I've been in sales a long time. I've ran companies. I've dealt with a lot of people. I've been in the entertainment industry as well. And it's all a bunch of bullshit. Like if you found something that works for you to get to be around younger women or to get into women's pants, that's just a sales pitch. This whole thing of constantly putting people in these constraints of these boxes, it has to be this way, it has to be that way, really gets on my nerves. The church does it as well. I'm a preacher's daughter. I've encountered it all. We're human beings. We're human beings, right? And so we're human beings. So, kindness can be confused for femininity. I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? Just because a father is playing with his daughter and engaging with stuff doesn't necessarily mean you're tapping into your feminine side. You're playing with a child.
Exactly. And that's
why does everything have to be this weirdo, like, oh, the psychological, it's this, it's a bunch of shit, man. I understand what you're saying.
Yep. Because he tried to say, well, what am I going to do with my daughter when I have a tea party? I said, well, I'll just
have a tea party. Yeah.
I'll be a man at her tea party.
You got to tap into that feminine. You got to tap into the feminine.
So can I ask this question of Fearless? So when you're at that tea party and she's put makeup on you and you're wearing a oversized tutu, are you in drag?
No.
Why would I have her put makeup on me if I did? Here's the thing: I don't have to have her put makeup on me. One, but if I did it, We're
Are
we're
you in
having an
drag?
exchange of
Are
fun.
you in
No,
drag?
no, you're
Which is
playing
entirely
make believe
different.
with a baby.
Exactly.
And babies have no concept of any of that stuff. So let's establish that
Exactly.
right now.
Yes.
Babies and young children, they do not have any concept of sexuality or perversion or any of that male, female, black, white. I don't give a flying shit. They don't.
I wasn't speaking from the child's perspective. I was asking him as a grown man, would he be able to tap into a more gentle side of himself and allow his daughter to put makeup on him and a little crown and sit and have a tea party, just him and her? That's bonding.
Well,
I'm
see,
speaking.
It's just
Ronan was at my
innocent
house.
play.
So can
Ronan
you
was at my
tap
house.
into your
I
feminine
tap
side?
into it.
Was my
I don't think
question.
it's a feminine side.
Because
Ronan was at my house. I toss my daughter. I apply on the stomach. I blow everything. I do from the rough throwing her up to holding her gentle.
Don't
All
say
that
it, fearless. It's a baited question. You understand? If you say that,
see,
got you. Don't say that. Don't do it. Don't buy into it. No, it's just play. It's just playing with a child on their level. That's all it is. It's not tapping into anything other than being a father and playing with a child who's innocent. That's what it is.
But see, here's
Now,
the
Nova,
problem, Richard. Here's the problem.
Richard.
This
I
is
would also say,
psychological
like,
warfare, Richard. I understand what you're doing, sir. I appreciate you, but I know what you're doing.
Richard, I would also say, like, you can play with the child. From my perspective, if I had a daughter and did that, I'd be like, honey, I'm a king. Treat me as a king. So she wouldn't see to say, oh, I put makeup on the king and I put lipstick on the king. She would take it from a different perspective. There's other things she could do and play with me about. You understand what I'm saying? So that's not nasty. That's not disrespectful. That's also helping to show her where the society is going. Unless you're down with putting her in a different mindset, then okay. But you get what I'm saying? You just say that.
You're
But you can still
creating
play with the kid.
boundaries.
Yeah.
And here's another thing I
But
want to
still
mention.
playing with the kid.
Here's another thing I want to mention. Richard, you're conflating being gentle to feminism, which is not the case. You know,
I said that,
the
yeah.
Japanese samurai is not constantly always aggressive, because when they're not in battle, they're always doing like tea ceremonies or trimming trees and stuff, and you know, the bonsai trees and stuff like that. They have to learn to calm down. They have to do something nice and soft and something different to calm down. That's not, you may see it as being feminine, but I mean, gentle as being feminine, but we got to calm down. Sometimes we have to be gentle. All right. We can't always be aggressive. So that's why with this whole, oh, we're being knuckle draggers and stuff. Well, there's times as us, even as soldiers, we got to bring it down, because we can't always be aggressive 24/7. We got to show compassion. Just like myself and Ronan, we've been in combat before. We weren't aggressive to kids constantly and stuff like that. We showed compassion to these kids. We helped these kids. We helped the people out there. We have our compassion.
Passport,
As
I
you
think
should.
what happened with feminism, and they've done this very well, so shout outs to them, but they have extrapolated gentleness or being nice, and they just hijacked it and said only the woman has the capacity to do that. That's why they often say, if women ruled the planet, there'll be no violence. And so net, if you start off with that basis, then when you decide to be gentle as a man, it's perceived as, oh, you tapped into the feminine.
Oh,
They
you're
have
zesty.
hijacked that.
You're zesty.
Exactly. They have that so you just gotta what? Being gentle is feminine now, but they hijacked it for the most part. So yes, it is an identifiable trait that they took it over and said, hey, if we rule the planet, there'll be no violence. There'll be no crime, no murders, no wars, because we're so gentle and we're so et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's where it comes from. Like gentleness has been hijacked.
Exactly.
Yeah, those are the same women who also think that everybody should get a trophy and everybody's a winner when they're not.
Exactly.
So I'm.
But you almost got it, Richard. Yeah, I got you.
I'm sitting here with my head in my hands, realizing that I'm just too old for this shit. My perspective on this is, well, I'm actually. Let me rephrase that. Let me put this in reverse. I really can't understand how difficult it is for manly men to not be so. It's hard for me to understand why these manly men keep talking about masculinity. Now, I'm an old guy.
Because it's been lost.
I won't
because of
argue
our
that.
silence, it has been lost.
And I wasn't over
For
that age for
generations.
some of this. Yep.
Yeah.
And the men are being shamed for it also. So
Exactly.
Well,
That's
when
the
you
real issue.
there was one thing I wanted to throw to the panel real quick. And Rowan, I'm sorry, Phyllis, I'm surprised you hadn't looked this up. Can you look up the word feminine? I think we can all describe masculine real easy.
The definition of masculinity origin actually just means a man. So femininity would mean a woman by definition, default.
Who are you, Nova Star
Having
Webster?
qualities or feminine, having qualities.
I'm
or an
educated enough,
appearance
yes.
traditionally
Smart too.
associated
You're good.
with women. That's feminine. Having qualities or an appearance traditionally associated with women.
And by the way, before you start talking,
So when you say
should be
get into my
joining.
That's probably the new definition, new Cambridge
Yeah,
definition,
you
not
should be
the
joining
original.
the Monday. You should be joining the Monday Night Live because this is a conversation we're about to have about Latin American women versus African American or African women from Africa when it comes to feminism and submissiveness.
Relating to or being a woman or a girl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the point
The
is,
origin,
in certain locations, feminine can mean multiple different things. That's why we went to feminist versus submission.
It says here, gentle, nurturing, emotionally expressive.
Yes.
And I think that's probably what Richard's going to get to is like, oh, see, it says gentle. So therefore, when they say you call you a gentle man, you know what? And it's not, there's some things he's saying I don't disagree with. It's just that when you're talking about, we all have this dual nature, the yin and yang within us. That's true. It's just not something that I personally give much thought to. I focus on just the fact that I got balls. It's like the other stuff kind of takes care of itself. So if I happen to be more gentle or a little more softer with a woman or a child, and you can call that feminine, so be it. But I'm not thinking consciously, oh yeah, I'm being more feminine. I see it as if I was more feminine, then the woman isn't going to be. There's not going to be a genuine or natural attraction there. I'm having to do a lot more work because I'm being more feminine. But if I'm being more masculine, then everything else just kind of takes care of itself naturally. So I'm trusting that the woman's going to be the yin to my yang, most likely. I don't think we're 50-50, probably closer to maybe 80-20, 90-10 or something like that. So that's just my perspective.
Well, you adjust your behavior according to where you're at, right? If you're on the combat zone, right, obviously you're going to be aggressive, right, and do what you have to do. If you're going to walk into the office with your briefcase, you're going to conduct yourself differently. You know what I'm saying? So, women aren't really a man's threat. Seriously, not really. So you're not going to treat a woman, well, you shouldn't necessarily treat a woman the same way you would a pack of dudes. There's a problem there if you did.
So no,
how much more of a
I
threat a
think
woman is.
Obstacles was right in this sense, where he said women have hijacked this theory about they're the only, like when they're taking care of a child or something like that, that they're the only one that can do it because they're feminine. When men have done that from the beginning. And that doesn't make the man feminine because he knows how to raise his son, his daughter, anything like that. We don't look at it like that.
No, it's just being a parent.
Correct.
If I may interject, respectfully,
go ahead.
If I could just clarify this even further. I never said I was a feminine man. I don't think I sound like or comport myself like a feminine man.
Wait. You called yourself
absolutely
male
did call yourself
feminist.
a feminist.
You said you were the male feminist. You said you were a male
Glad
feminist.
Glad you brought that up.
Yes.
Because this might be kind of contradictory, but I think you can be a feminist without being feminine. And I will again state that I am a male feminist.
Richard,
Can you what is a male feminist then, Richard? Oh, equal rights?
Yes.
So equal rights equal lefts. She hits me, I can hit her. Am I right? That's what you believe in. You
Any
believe
man who punches, any man
there,
who
you just changed the definition.
Just changed up.
Any man who punches a woman, he said
You
equal
don't
lefts,
stand on your
equal rights.
ground.
That's a joke.
You
Equal
just
rights,
said
equal
that
lefts.
we are equal.
What do you even mean by that? You mean punch him back?
I just asked you. Hold up. I just asked you. You believe in men and women are equal. If a man hit me and I hit him back, I would be okay. If I am equal and me and a woman are equal and she hits me, I should be able to hit her back.
I think that's a trick
You're
question.
You're not a feminist. You're not a feminist.
I
know
know
why?
you don't believe that. I know you don't believe that.
Why not? Feminists believe that they're just as good as men, if not better.
I know you don't believe you can hit a
They're
woman.
lying to themselves.
Yeah.
Here's
You
the
believe
thing.
that?
I'm going to quote this from a true feminist from a show that you watch. I don't hit women. It should be I don't hit people who are physically weaker than me. Some women who are physically stronger, and if a stronger person hits you, you should hit them back. You know who said that? The woman that I can't say, the real feminist. Look, a man shouldn't hold a door open for a woman. There is nothing unique about a woman that makes it necessary for you to hold the door open. This is sexism. Women are queens. No, women are humans. This is your feminist who said it. So I'm quoting what a feminist said. See, what you do is, like Nova said, you do it when it sounds good, and then when somebody confronts you on what you said, then you change up. You're like the person who just takes the path that everyone wants to hear. I'm a feminist. Well, do you want to? That means a woman should be able to take you out on a first date. No, that's not being a man, huh? You keep changing the definition.
You know how many women I've dated who paid for the first date? I've dated lots of women who offered to pay for the first date. That's another percentile. Are you kidding?
Who offered or did they pay?
Both.
So you let a woman pay for the first date? What kind of man are you?
Was there a second date? I'm curious.
Okay.
Was there a second date?
No, but check this out. After that, I paid for every other date, 10 dates deep.
Okay. Why? That's not that's not a feminist. That's not a male feminist. Male feminists would be like, we're equal in this. And if equal, you should pay for one, she should pay for another. So that's you keep messing these definitions up. Are you a male feminist?
For Nova, let me explain how it worked out a year later. We were living together, cohabitating, in love, in a committed relationship, and we built each other up. And then we moved on. So the point being that I've had women pay for first dates, and when they did that, I felt like, okay, well, that's a queen. Let me move my king. Let me move my king next time. So yeah, there were follow-up dates, especially if a woman offered. That allowed me to step back into my humility and realize this is.
Then you want to say step back in your feminine?
My feminine. Thank you for clarifying.
I don't want to be a jerk, but if you guys were building each other up and you guys were so in love, then why aren't you still together? What happened with that?
Why would
you
tired of paying them for them first dates?
She got tired of the non-masculinity in the relationship.
Yeah, well, those women, those feminists who are doing that, that's, we want to play both ends from the middle. I want it both ways, and you can't have it all ways and however you want it in life. It just doesn't work. Okay, so I don't like feminists, Richard. I'm not interested in women who hate men and loathe themselves because they're women and not as powerful as men, and so they envy men's power. Seriously, that's what it comes down to. And there's always been that segment of women who will do horrible things to appease men in those positions because they want to have that same type of power. So And considering we know where it came from, we do all know where it came from, don't we? We do understand it came from that woman. What was her freaking name?
Gloria Steinem.
Gloria Steinem. Yeah.
No, from the Nazi Party.
The eugenics woman.
Yes, that woman.
Oh,
and they've ran with it since. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I got it. Harriet Tubman for us. No.
Stop with that.
Was our first feminist.
No, I think her last name was Sanger, wasn't it?
Yeah,
no, I said
yes, Sanger.
Yeah.
Margaret Sanger.
Yes, thank you, Margaret Sanger. So that's where it came from, and then they moved that party here in 1933, I think it was. And so it's been a thing ever since.
All right, so you're not saying that Harriet Tubman wasn't a pioneer in women's freedom, as well as
no, considering she was all about eugenics and killing black people and babies with any type of disability.
I said Harriet Tubman.
Harriet Tubman did not operate as an independent person. She was working within a system that was already established. So cut that shit out. She was a figurehead for history, but she was not the only one doing it.
Isn't that similar to how Rosa Parks is kind of like giving all the credit for the boycotting?
Exactly.
I mean, I look at it like, the laws of the land were already established, that all men were created equal under God, not because of man and what their opinion is, right? And with the pursuit of happiness, right? To your full capacity. So, what else do you freaking need? I don't need any extra bylaws to surpass the main laws just because I'm getting special class benefits. Fuck that shit. That's communistic shit. That makes control out of language. It makes control out of all kinds of ideologies. So no, I don't subscribe to that.
I am duly noted, Nova. I didn't know that you lived in Hollywood, right?
No, I've worked there. I didn't live there.
Okay.
I would drive in.
I lived in LA for 25 years, and I worked adjunct to the film industry.
Okay.
So I got to know a lot about how that side of the world works as well.
Oh yes. Wasn't it you who was, when I was on here last time, said that you were familiar with the paparazzi? I think you did. I think it was you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we've both navigated in similar circles. Yes.
Yeah. We swam in the same shark tank, at least out there. Sure. And I want to clarify myself one more time. These guys kept saying I'm a feminine guy. And again, I find that humorous. And that's why I came up here for the smoke tonight. But I think a lot of men who are struggling with identity crisis, midlife crisis, we're all kind of there. I'm kind of on the other side of that. I'm past my menopause, and men are going to get that way. They're going to stop like, I'll kick your ass, and I'm a big badass, this and that and the other, and that gentleman will evolve. I said that earlier. That's evolution for a man.
Sir, I've been a gentleman all my life. You don't have to be a gentleman just because you're older. You can be a gentleman all your life. What are you talking about?
You said a few things in the chat. You said,
Ronan, if you were a gentleman, you wouldn't should that
way. You said men should get with their feminine side. And then one thing you said as a man that we always never, Kevin Samuels is gay. That's what women do.
I did not say that. I asked you guys, was he feminine? Because he was a metrosexual man. Everybody knows this. It was clearly evident.
Because you talk about men's style and you dress a certain way, it makes you a metrosexual.
I was just going to ask you that. Isn't that according to style,
that was his
right?
Gig.
So,
before he started talking about relationships, his thing was about dressing properly.
Yes.
Grooming.
And etiquette.
That was his gig.
Mm-hmm.
So that made him metrosexual because he was concerned about the way the man's appearance was.
And hygiene.
And he wasn't saying wear a mini skirt. He was saying wear a suit with some shoes.
Right.
And get you some good cologne on and smell good. Wipe your butt. I mean, that's what he was saying.
Take a shower.
Yeah.
Scrub. Use
Wash
a bar
your
of
ass
soap every day. Get your clothes tailored because you look sloppy. Yeah.
Correct. So why does that make you feminine, Richard? That's
And
the first question.
that to
The
me
second
taps
question is,
into
oh,
the
hold up,
softer
second.
gentleman side, gentle being one of the feminine traits of all human beings.
Man, I know some
All
tailors that will
No,
whoop.
that just makes
Listen,
it.
I
Let
know
me
some tailors that will whoop your ass, and it
wait.
didn't
Hold
make them
on.
any kind of fucking feminine because they knew how to sew.
Let's bring back the word. The word is called class. It means that you have
Respect the dapper
class.
Mm-hmm.
Class,
Right.
manners, and etiquette is what makes you apart from the beasts. Okay,
Facts.
so that's what we're talking about. They've rehashed it and retitled it and repackaged it, but that's not what it really is. It's actually class.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way,
But
every
again,
military man goes through a system where they teach you how to dress. Your appearance,
Oh,
that all matters.
The mafia now, they're gentle, they're feminine.
Yeah.
And then also just most black people back in history, they all wore suits back then.
Yes.
Nobody just went out.
Everybody
But
wore suits back then.
everybody, but everybody got, even kids. Kids had suits on.
They
Like,
did.
God dang, and they was
I had
poor.
suits
They
as
was
a kid.
busted down.
Yeah.
Oliver Twist, wasn't he even like, Oliver Twist had some nice clothes. They were raggedy, but they were nice. So
Yes.
and again, associating gentlemen with being feminine. You got to stop hijacking our terminology. There's gentlemen who have been the violent. You know, if you want to take somebody who looks like James Bond,
Yeah, he was a gentleman.
that was a
He killed
gentleman,
you.
and look what
he
he
was
can do.
feminine. He tapped
Doc
into his
Holliday.
feminine. That's what you didn't get. He
I
tapped
can't tell you
inside.
how heartbroken. I can't tell you how heartbroken I am to have you reference James Bond when you had Sugar Ray Robinson, who constantly got a perm and his nails done, and would knock everybody out. Sugar Ray Robinson, right? Let's start with that.
But the whole
Muhammad
thing
Ali,
is, listen.
the prettiest
The whole
heavyweight,
thing
the
is,
prettiest. Wait.
listen.
Muhammad Ali, the prettiest
Listen.
heavyweight
Style
in the
is
world.
style. It doesn't matter the generation. Brothers either dressed up or they didn't dress up, and there was a certain style associated to certain eras.
Yes,
Just
like
because
bell
Kevin
bottoms.
Samuels
Mhm.
started to reteach styling themselves and appearance made a difference in a man and that carry himself a certain way, that didn't make him a metrosexual. It made him very conscious about his appearance.
I do have one last question.
And guess what? Guess what,
This will
Richard?
help
You
me.
know who actually
This will help
called
me.
him a metrosexual? Mostly the women.
Yep.
Exactly.
That didn't
And
like his
so-
message. So you find yourself taking on these definitions, identified and established and extracted by feminism.
I think
Then you say Kevin Samuels coming from women who called him metrosexual. So again, and some men too. But at the end of the day, you just got to start off with a different basis, probably. That's the problem.
I think metrosexual terminology came out of Seattle in the 1990s during the grunge era, I think, if memory serves. But look, I have to leave here in a second because I have to go feed the demands of other people. But before I go, let me say that what's going on is we're hijacking terminology, right? So we're perverting the English language. So then you don't know what the hell you're actually saying. So I'm more of an advocate of bringing back proper English. You know why? Because then there's no reading between the lines and this means this and that means that. No, we're just perverting the English language. So then you have no truth anymore associated to it. So I think we should be more we're adults. Let's speak like them.
I really respect that, Nova. I'm going to
Thank
sub
you,
to
Richard.
you right.
I don't think you're very feminine, sir. And I don't want you to think I've got it out for you. I do not. I'm just standing to my guns. You know what I mean? So these are my convictions. This is where I'm at. This is who I am. Whether people like it or not, that's on them.
Nova,
so, gentlemen, I got to go take care of the demands of others.
I appreciate you coming on the panel, Nova, because I know there was last minute.
Yeah, it was. I just was coming in to say hi and make a few comments and support
we
you guys.
hijacked you.
It's okay. It's okay. At least I'm not sounding like a frog as bad as I was. The
Well,
other
that's
day.
me right now because my soundboard's not working. I forgot my power cable.
we
So
appreciate.
I'm glad I'm working all the kinks right now before I get on this trip.
Yes, I'm
We
glad you're
appreciate
safe and
your
everything's okay.
femininity. We appreciate your femininity.
Thank you, Fearless.
Yes,
All right. Well,
absolutely.
I enjoyed all of you gentlemen. I wish you a wonderful weekend, and I will be back around.
Thank you, Nova.
Thank you.
You
Bye.
take care, Miss Nova.
Guys, we're going to stay on for maybe about another 10, 15 minutes. But I did want to talk about this just before we left. Last week's conversation was all about the masculine type man. And now we're saying that, and Richard, you said it, even that you said tap into your feminine side. Are you just using that to get women? Or, and to any guy on the panel, are you going to change up the way you are so that you can tap into your feminine side and attract more females?
Can I answer first?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So my point through all of this, and this has been an incredibly great conversation, is have balance. I mean, you're going to meet women. I met women who I used to wrestle with, like, in the bed, I had women who didn't play that. They wanted to be treated very gently and tenderly. I've had women in between that you could take it there sometime, just wrestle, get the blood flowing early morning, So I've met women who are tapped into, I've met female athletes who are tapped into the limited level of testosterone that they may have that makes them great athletes. I've met men who have tapped into the limited level of estrogen that attracts women. Those are pheromones. That's why we wear colognes, certain types of colognes. We want to smell manly and strong, like we just left the leather factory. Or we want to smell smooth and cool. Cool water cologne was very famous back in the day. We have that aspect of ourselves, and I found that later in my life, the better balance was to not resist that minute, that lesser percentage of me. I think somebody said 80-20, because I'm 80, straight up. But if I get, into a intimate situation with a woman, I'm going to tap into certain parts of me that will make me tap into certain parts of her, physically and in her heart. I'm going to make her feel loved. I'm going to treat her tender. And then there's some other chicks that I met, it is what it is. But I've learned in my latter life.
Tender doesn't necessarily mean it.
But I've learned in my latter life to accept the fact that I am the yin and the yang. It made me bigger, even though I didn't grow. To accept the fact that I am the Al-Rahman, the beneficent, and the Al-Rahim, the merciful. That's why I love that word mercy. I've needed mercy so many times in my life. I'm living in mercy here. Don't need no sex. The mercy feels so good that I got out and I found a place that I could really see the whole of life and the whole of me. My only point in all of this conversation, I'm glad you guys indulged me, man, was just to say that to all of us. There's that side of us. And as you grow older, you'll begin to see it. It'll turn the corner on you as you turn that bend in life. When you get into your mid to latter 60s, if you're still here, keep waking up. That's my point in all this. And that's when
you're using the wrong terms, Richard, because what I would say is there's just scales of masculinity. There's the one who can be at war, and then the one can be at home. That doesn't mean you're feminine.
But you tip scales when you claim that I said women like feminine men, and I never said that. Go check the tapes. I said that I got more women. I said that I got more women tapping into my gentleman side than I
Oh,
did.
you
by-
you most certainly did not say gentleman. You said
You
I
said
tapped
you're
into my
feminine
feminine
side.
side.
Okay, Nova was
Because
right.
we because
We're
what we
arguing
said was
semantics here. We're arguing
we said
semantics here.
we said you were watching that show a little bit too long because you were dealing with the male feminists, and you said you were a male feminist also.
I am a
So
male feminist, man. I stand up for women's rights. I don't know what you're talking about. That's all it means. Yeah, women, get out here. Rosie Riveter from World War II, the white girl with the bandana on her head. Get out there,
what
Rosie
rights
Riveter.
what rights do women have that men don't have, or men have that women don't have? I mean, you stand up for their rights. What rights do they have that
Well, let me ask you guys this question.
Don't ask a
Do
question with another question. Answer
do
the
women
question
have
first.
the right to be an NFL coach?
Yes.
Would
The 49ers, the 49ers had a female linebacker coach.
Yeah, that's a co-coach. Yeah, that's a sub-coach.
A coach is a coach.
Well, no, that's not true. Anybody who has ever played football knows that. You down line. The head coach is a head coach.
No, a coach is a coach. Now you're talking about a head coaching position.
Let's not argue the
That's
semantics of
different.
that.
Okay, a pilot's not a pilot if it's a co-pilot. Continue.
Correct.
Continue, Richard. You were saying something?
she has the right to do it all? What do you mean?
I just don't think I'm in the company of. I don't think I'm in the company of men who feel that women deserve everything you deserve. I think that y'all don't really believe that.
Wait,
you think that
deserve? No.
But-
If you
but Rick-
deserve, no. You work for it, you can have everything. I just can't give it to you. If you qualified, you can do whatever.
Do men get to walk in and get things handed to them? Or do that to earn them?
Mm-hmm.
I've had it
So
both
if you're
ways.
saying you're a male feminist, that
I've had
means
it both
you
ways.
believe women should be able to get in there and earn it just like any
I
other
believe
man.
you do. I believe.
Now-
I'm not
now-
surprised you had it both ways.
Who
Pause.
says
Now,
Who said that?
You
now,
said
Richard,
it. You set yourself up.
Who said
but Richard, you failed to answer Fearless's question. What rights do men enjoy that women don't? And I'm kind of curious.
Okay, I think it was. I think it was exemplified by the recent presidential election.
A woman can be hold up. A woman can be president.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me ask you this question: are there more women in the United States or more men?
More women.
So if a woman wanted women to be president, all the women could vote for a woman, and they would outnumber the men. So
And they
you
still
can't say-
didn't do it.
Yeah, she didn't. They had the same right.
That math is so damn anecdotal because you're not even including the fact that there was massive voter suppression, and I'm not even getting into any political questions or
Hold up.
issues.
She ran for president.
Let me move on.
She had the right to be president. You just don't give president.
You open the Richard. You open the door.
Thailand has just elected its first woman.
Well, you just showed me that a woman has every right that a man, because a woman.
Right.
It wasn't
Now,
the first one.
Why
It
in
wasn't the
America
first one.
has America never had a woman president?
Because nobody voted. That's the end of the subject.
Exactly.
Just that.
Yeah, I mean they lost. I mean, let's face it. Kamala
presidents and companies like.
I mean, you got
the
to
most valuable private company in the world is ran by a woman, CEO of SpaceX. Like,
so then that begs the question: are you telling me that you really think America would be in a better place?
You're not answering the question. I said, what right does a woman have? Does a man have that a woman doesn't? And that woman had just as much opportunity to run for president as a man. She lost.
I don't think she had the
what right does a
opportunity.
woman have?
She didn't even earn it. She didn't earn the votes. Biden did. So she was actually placed in his place when she should have actually had gone through the primaries like every other man before her and him. So
yeah, but there's more to it than that. I just don't think it's on topic.
Don't let
though,
Richard
but-
off the hook.
it's not, but
Richard,
you know.
Richard, answer the question. What right does a man have that a woman doesn't?
I think that question is so. Let me think of the word.
No, you said you are a male feminist, and you are
I'm a
fighting
male
for
feminist
equal.
because I
You are
stand for
fighting for
women.
You're standing for the equal rights of women, and I said, what rights does a man have that a woman doesn't? Since you're fighting for these equal rights.
You said a
I'm
football
trying to
field,
figure
right?
out how to answer that question, Coach.
The right to go to war. That's one of them.
Right.
Elective service. There you go. That's a right they ain't got.
I can't, and as a man, I can't even work as a waitress at Hooters.
Who said that?
I can't.
Who said that?
Dude, they're not gonna. He's not gonna be able to walk in looking the way he looks, even if he dressed up in his finest female clothes and say, "I want to work at Hooters." They're gonna say, "Okay, we'll give you opportunity," and they're not gonna hire him.
Nor could he be a Chippendale. So let's stop playing.
No, I just looked it up. Yeah. I cannot work as a waitress at Hooters. Legal justification. Hooters has argued that being a female is a bona fide occupational qualification for servers, allowing them to only hire women for that role. So please tell me again, what rights does a man have that a woman doesn't? I just showed you a right that a woman has that a man
honestly think that women have equal rights in America.
You keep not answering the question, sir.
Of course he does.
If there is a right, tell me. You can't keep this like the person that says, "Oh, there's 1,000 things," and I say, "Well, I just need one."
Name one.
There's 1,000.
One example.
Well, tell me one.
Legitimate.
I gave you.
No, you
didn't. You said
no.
they can't be a
Asking
coach.
questions.
And they have a right to be a coach. What are you talking about?
But do they want the right to play on the field against all those other? Like, do they want that right, or they just want to sit on the sidelines?
Look, we did a whole show on this. We did a whole show on this. You might want to go back and look at our catalog. We looked at the opportunities that women had internationally in job functions. Women have kept the same 7 to 10 job functions throughout all of their rights of being able to do anything they wanted to do. They've stayed in the same arenas, 7 different career functions within corporate America.
But for less pay. You know that's not true.
Oh, not the gender pay gap thing argument.
Yeah,
why don't you see any? Why don't you see that many women? Trash people. Why don't you see a lot of women plumbers? Why don't you see a lot of women working in bricklayers and construction? They have the opportunity to do all those things. They choose not to do those things. They choose to do the cushy jobs and demand high pay. Just like you look at the WNBA versus the NBA, and they're demanding the same and equal pay, even though they don't have the fucking crowds to actually rate the type of pay. They don't have the draw. They're not as proficient.
This video fast. I'll tell you what the video said. It's the guy that's in Los Angeles that always goes on the street. He asked the women, he said, would you make $100,000 working in the sewer or $10,000 working for like a fashionista? And the women chose the fashionista, and the men said, I'll go work in them sewers. So it's the choice they make. And Richard, you keep doing this. You keep.
Then why aren't they doing it?
Yeah,
Ronan, you ain't finna go work in those stores. If that's the last thing, the only job you could get. You ain't finna go work in those stores.
Let me tell you something. I work
in the
smart, not
military.
harder. I work smart, not hard. You understand what I'm saying? I have a brain. I'm highly intelligent. Why would I go work in a sewer? Why would I go work in a sewer when I can make 3 times as much not working in a sewer? I'm not taking less money. I'm just working with my brain and making more than somebody working in that sewer.
So that
do I have the capability? Absolutely. But women are complaining about not equal pay. I'm not complaining about not equal pay. You know why? Because I go out and get it.
But that would imply that women aren't as smart and intelligent.
I hate when I got to prove you wrong, man, because this is the shit you always do, Richard, man. I asked you a question. You never answered. Hold up. Richard, you never answered the question. I always had to prove you wrong. Then I got to go.
You never understand my answer because I'm speaking above your
I think the high profile jobs are no pay. I would prefer to have the high profile job without pay, because if I was high profile, I'd market myself.
All right, guys, y'all looking at the thumbnail. Y'all looking at the.
And what he asked him was, would you rather make $100,000 working in sewers or zero for a high profile job? And each woman in here said the same thing. The men said,
It's got to
well,
be close to 100%, if not, in the high 90s,
Would you agree that most consumer spending is geared towards women?
every man
Yeah,
on here
I think,
said they would work on the sewer. Every woman on here said, no, I will not work in it. Hold, let me see if I can even get to these dudes.
Mm-hmm. It's about supply and demand when it comes to what's valuable. So
Good answer. The man, if you're talking about McDonald's workers, pay them more money because
Here she go right here. Oh,
I think in society, it's meant to mean that it's like a more
but all the women on here said they would not work in the sewer. They would rather work for zero money. And so I keep asking you, because you always deflect. You're a feminist and you're fighting for all of these rights for these women. What rights do women have that men have that women don't?
You can choose to work down there, get dirty. Chris, I got a question.
Go ahead, brother.
I wonder about that video real quick. That woman, the women, when they choose, I'm thinking like from their point of view. If they get a high profile job for $0, you actually was wrong. You said 10,000, so they was willing to work for
Yeah,
nothing.
they said zero.
To do
Yeah,
it.
you're right. They said zero.
So, if they're willing to work for nothing for a high profile job, they're thinking about leveraging perhaps that high profile status and being in the public eye to attract the man who makes $100,000 in the, well, maybe not in the sewer because they don't want those no more, but they want someone like a white collar job worker or NBA player. So it works in a sense that I understand how they would choose that and say, you know what, put me in the spotlight. I'm going to draw and attract a man who's going to come in my DMs and offer me. These are men who are making the money that I don't have to get on my hands and get dirty to make that 100,000. I can just find a man who's already making that if I was in a high profile situation.
But Joe, think about this. Maybe the woman's already entitled enough that she already knows somebody's already taking care of her, so she doesn't have to really work at all. She just wants to.
I don't even think that. I just think women think of how I can just be in a position that the woman wants the position, the man wants the income. That's all it is. You tell that woman she's the CEO or nothing, she's fine. The man say, "Oh, I'd rather be the janitor if I'm making 100,000."
So the status, the appearance of a thing,
All about
the
the
title,
how you look. Yeah,
the title of it, without the responsibilities or the work that comes with that higher responsibility or the title that they want to hold. That's that's the
And if
possibility.
Richard, if all the women were making less,
still here.
then why hire any men?
I want to get back to this issue of there is this intrinsic, and I apologize, caveman level
Oh my
that
goodness.
seems to have devolved in the minds of men that women owe you anything.
Richard, I'm sorry to cut you off, brother, but man, I like you now, but pause. But you sound worse than President Trump at a debate. You're just not answering the question.
Filibustering.
Yeah, you're filibustering.
It is my intent. Maybe it's because the questions are so convoluted and multiplicitous.
No, it's a simple. I'll ask this simply.
Give it to me again.
What right does a man have that a woman doesn't have?
Just one.
Like if I say, hey, as a man, I can vote. And can a woman vote? You would say yes. So what right do I have that a woman doesn't have? Because I can tell you the reverse, where actually women have more rights than a man.
You know what right they have right off the bat that men have to do still? We still need to sign up for the draft and women do not.
Oh, yeah.
If I impregnate a woman, I'm responsible for either child support because it's our child, but I still have no right to say if she can have the child, if she can't have the child, even though I contributed 50% because, as you would say, it takes two to tango. So if it takes two to tango, what else? Intrinsically, a woman is always entitled to custody. Why is that? She's considered a custodial parent.
Intrinsically, women and children are first, not men.
Yes.
Save the women and children, not the men. Why? We're equal. Why has she got more value than me? I produce more. I might have my own family. Why am I letting a woman go before me? Because I still need to provide for my own family.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a gentlemanly thing to do. That's acceptable in society, right?
Let me tell you how bad it
Again,
is.
I'm sitting here with my head in my hand, listening to this.
Let me tell you this. Let me ask you this.
That,
let me ask you this, Richard.
Out of my league.
Can I become a Richard? Can I become a Girl Scout? Can I become a Girl Scout as a boy?
A boy would know better. A boy wouldn't even ask that question, and that's my challenge to you.
Okay, the boy wouldn't ask that question. Then let me ask you this: since 2018,
every boy wanted to be.
Hold up, listen. You want to overtalk me, but you don't want to listen. You're right. A boy can't become a Girl Scout, but a girl since 2018 can become a Boy Scout.
Man, that's hold on. Dude, what?
Look it up.
There is
yes,
everything wrong with that.
America accepts girls. The Boy Scouts program now is called Scouts BSA. Not even the Boy Scouts.
Yeah, he's right.
Formerly
So
known
I'll
as
ask
the
the
Boy.
question. Exactly. No longer the Boy Scouts because it accepts girls. So I will ask you for the last time, and I'm not going to ask you no more because you deflect, and I know that's your nature. Please tell me, what right does a man have that a woman doesn't?
I don't know.
So why
then being a male feminist means nothing. You're fighting for a right that has nothing. What right are you fighting for as a male feminist?
Fearless, sometimes you got people out there that doesn't realize when they won the battle. You know what I mean? So they just keep on fighting. They just don't know they won already. You know, and that's what I think when it comes to these feminists.
No,
and male.
Just go back to the drum,
the
boys.
male feminist agenda has changed from just equal rights to exceeding their rights.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And if
they
it was
don't want to be
rights,
equal to us, they want to be better than us and take over now.
Yep. Because if you were fighting for equal rights, Richard, what you would do is go to court and say, hey, a man should have equal rights to his children in court. A man should have all of these equal rights when it comes to this. Matter of fact, if I kill a man and a woman kills a man, we should both get the same sentence. That doesn't happen. Women get less sentences than men for the same exact crime. But you aren't fighting for the equal right for that. You're fighting for more rights for women. That's the difference.
An even better example, Fearless. Nowadays, you notice the teachers having inappropriate relationships with students now. It's more women now. Yeah, and look at the jail sentences they're getting compared to men back in the day.
What do you think about teachers? How many male teachers do you see often? I can only count on. I remember 2 growing up my entire life in school. But why? Because they perceive man to be more predatory, off the rip. He can't really do the job a woman can. So what about that?
Let me ask you this, Richard. If you had a child and there was a daycare, it was all men daycare, would you take your little girl there?
No.
Why not? We're equal. See, you just discriminated against men. It's not equal. They have more rights. They're perceived to be different.
I have to admit that when I came up on the panel today, I flipped through this over the night and into the morning, and I was up early to be here for the shits and giggles. I want all the smoke. I'm just struggling with looking at you young brothers, struggling with the concept. Like when I was growing up, there was no men used the word masculine. that was kind of weird. If you was in a crowd on the corner, y'all drinking Thunderbird, and somebody said the word masculine, you'd like look at him like, whoa, where you from?
Yeah,
You
but
know,
Richard, it was a different time back then, Richard. I mean, you didn't.
And back then we used to throw hands, you know, especially in Philly. You know,
Richard, you are not that much older than me and Fearless sitting on this panel. What the fuck are you talking about? We grew up in the same time frame.
But I think that Darnell identified that it's not the same.
It absolutely is not the same. What do you think?
There is this.
You think it was us that changed it?
But Richard, it's not us that changed. When I grew up, there was no I identify as they, he, she, pansexual, semi-sexual, astrosexual.
Didn't have to.
It was not.
It was
I
implied,
was the
right?
man. So the reason I have to say all of this, and you say masculine, is because of all the terminology that women do. Oh, I'm a femme man. I'm a mass this. I'm a bi. I'm a tri. I'm a they. I'm a he. That wasn't our generation. So I have to use the terminology of this generation. So don't blame us. This ain't something that we made up. There was no such thing as toxic masculinity back then.
But it was something y'all let happen. Our women weren't like that back then. Y'all let that happen. That's why I put that on.
You would be part of the blame as well, Richard. Don't say y'all. You're part of it. You're a boomer.
I was a dog. I was a dog. I like
the women
women.
and see how you deflect. I like how you changed. You never answer the question, but you changed everything. But
I'm no worse than them.
Men were not the
they're
issue.
no worse than me.
The reason men were not the issue, men continued to work and give. What happened is in the 1960s and 1970s, women felt that they could take the money without the responsibility. So when the government or whomever offered the money, they said, I can do this without a man. And I've always said it. The more money.
Your chronology is off on that. Your chronology is off.
Whatever dates you want to give me, it still happens.
Yes, it is.
And I've showed a video back, and you've seen the same video back in the 1980s where the woman said, I don't need a man. I don't need this. I can welfare. I'm cool with it. The more money a man makes, the more he wants to have a family. The more money a woman makes, the more she wants to be independent of a man. That's the difference.
Can I
no
respond
man makes
to
money? Go ahead.
I'll respond to Bam Bam's comment, his chat. Women are still women. That's where y'all get it twisted. Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
They are so much more nowadays, don't you know?
Well, so are you. Hopefully. That's evolution, my brothers and sisters. Power to the people. That's evolution. People evolve. And I joke with y'all, and I apologize because you constantly drag me about that knuckle dragger comment. And I say that in jest, for shock value.
What I'm trying to show you is,
what I'm saying to you is, men do what men do. Let a woman be a woman and let a man be a man. I said this on a previous episode, and that was clearly defined in my days coming up. You guys are so much more sensitive. I could insult one of y'all and get y'all into a screaming match. I know I could do that.
Richard, you go to that other channel and never challenge anything. You never challenge anything they say.
I got kicked off that channel. I told you this before. Stop smoking all that weed.
That was in the beginning, Richard. Not now. You friends with
I learned to fit in where I get in, like I did with y'all. I'm here to deliver a message. It is my best
message beside confusion.
My best of hopes to deliver a message
you have
from
not delivered one competent message. Since you've been on our panels, you have not delivered one competent message. You don't answer direct questions. You go around Robin Hood's barn to say a simple fucking answer.
Y'all don't even ask direct questions.
Oh, we absolutely do.
No, Fearless asked a very direct question when he said, what rights do men enjoy that women don't? I mean, I don't understand the ambiguity there.
He asked that question like at least.
Wait, you just said a big word, Darnell. I don't know if he understands ambiguity.
It is my art. I am the art of ambiguity when I come up here. I come to stir the pot.
The problem is
Sure,
we just
mention
told you we do what the other channel doesn't.
You ask how, but when you ask me what rights, may I just for a second? You ask me what rights do women have that men don't have, and you know there is male to female inequality. Everybody can research that right now, and all of you guys are smart enough to know that. So you ask me that question. It's like asking
Tell me the inequality.
how
Tell
a
me
clock
the
works.
inequality. You
It's
said
like
I
asking
know
me
it.
how a
I
clock
don't
works.
know it, Richard. I don't know
We
it.
know
So
it
you
works.
tell me.
We know it works.
Tell me.
But you're asking me a question that is age old. Women have
Richard.
been unequal since the beginning of man.
Richard, I said I don't know, so I want you to tell me. I don't know.
We just asked for just one example. We gave it like 5 or 6. And you can say, well, it's like 4 or 5 of you all, so y'all can all each have your one. That's fair. So he only asked you for one example since you're one person. I think that's the
Do you
fair
know
ask.
how hard it has been for
One.
women, and particularly FBA women, who have worked their way up through the ranks
Bro, what are
of
you talking
science,
about, man?
technology, and medicine? Not just to
Bro,
mention
I'm
the
out, man.
brothers,
Y'all niggas
but the
tripping.
sisters who have done that.
Richard, that's like saying what rights did the blacks have that they don't. And we can talk about slavery, but I'm talking about today, 2025.
Sorry about the rant.
I'm
I
saying
apologize
today,
about the rant.
not
I just
2000,
don't.
not
It's so
1960.
obvious to me, and maybe
And
because of my
make it
age,
obvious
my
to me.
math,
Let me tell you the difference. I'm gonna tell you something, Richard. Somebody
just
must
can't.
told me this.
I just realized I can't.
You can't, and that
You can.
someone must told me. And the reason how the way you can show your intelligence is when you can explain something to a kindergartner and they understand.
No,
All that stuff don't mean anything.
no,
I can
bad
break something.
analogy. Because first of all, I would not be sitting with a kindergartner trying to explain anything about life. Period. I'm here with adults. This is grown man talk.
And you can't even explain it to adults. That's sad.
That's what makes it really sad, because there is this angst against women, and of course we can go through the red pill manosphere BNT stuff that talks about how bad black women are, even though those brothers came from black women, got black sisters, maybe got black daughters. I'm not getting into that rabbit hole with y'all.
I don't know. I just do facts.
If God made anything better than a woman, he kept it to himself, period. And my struggle with this conversation, the conversations that I've had with y'all, is how y'all don't understand that.
We don't.
You all got mothers.
Richard,
you keep on your feminist side with your daughter. You want to throw your daughter up in the air like a little boy? Go ahead, do that.
Wait, stop.
With your mother.
Stop. First of all, we're not talking about women at all. You're bringing that up to deflect. That was not the question that was tabled on this panel. The question that has been tabled, still not been answered to this point, is name one job that a woman doesn't have an opportunity to do that a man does. Crickets. Still can't answer.
So
y'all need to step your broadcast game up and get some cricket sound effects free off the internet. So you
I
can
have
hit that
them. My soundboard is down right now. Man.
Well, so Richard, let me ask you a series of questions here.
No. He can't answer the first one. He's not going to answer a series. We're not going to do that.
Well, I'll make it real. I'll make it real simple, really simple. All right. We go to the nightclub, right? I gotta. Why is it that I gotta pay to get in? Woman gets in for free. I mean, would you say that is that? Does that sound equal to you?
Is to bring your ass to the club, my guy, and buy some drinks because you got more money than her. That's to get you to the club. Let the girls be free. That's old school.
But if I don't have to pay a cover, right? I'm probably going to spend more money inside the club. I'm going to buy more drinks. I'm probably spend a little bit more money, but I'm getting taxed on parking, You know, I done probably already spent $100 before I even walked in the door. You see what I'm saying? So now, what about? I'm inside the club. I'm in Snobsdale. You know, I'll go to. I can't get into VIP unless I'm paying $5,000.
Hey,
But a
Fearless, pull
woman,
up a recent video from TikTok of a club right now. Clubs are fucking empty right now for that same reason.
Yeah.
Well, Richard, let me ask you this,
Well-
Richard. Wouldn't it go to say that a man should make more money since he got to pay cover charge? He got to pay for the first date, the second date. Shouldn't he make more money?
My answer, is that a question? You want me to answer that?
Yes.
All right. So most beneficent means the one who receives the most. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, the king. Most merciful is that same person tapping into that softer, gentler, feminine side.
Hold
and
up.
realizing that
Wait a
he
minute.
feeds the
Something ain't
king.
right.
Those are the traits that make kings.
So basically, he didn't say nothing.
He didn't say nothing.
I mean, but okay. What about if I'm on the side of the road? I'm stranded on the side of the road. No, versus a woman being stranded on the side of the road.
No matter what example you give, he's not.
He's not going to give you an answer. That's
okay.
That's kind of why I'm kind of through with having Richard on panel.
I have been helped by a woman when I was stranded on the side of the road. I've been helped by a woman.
You were showing
when
your
I was
feminine
stranded.
side, I guess.
Oh, that was mean, Fearless. That was mean.
He wouldn't say that to my face, of course, but it is the Lion's Den. I'm sorry, I was just joking. You probably would.
Thanks, Alex.
You punch me because you like punching people.
But I guess I say that to Richard to say
But
this.
my
issue is
I would
you
respond
go
to that by saying
panel.
this.
Go ahead.
I think that when I'm hoping to refine my point, I'm hoping to sharpen my point. I think that when I tapped into my feminine side, it was through trial and error and trauma and failure that I realized my vulnerability. And I think everybody will own vulnerability here. So maybe I'm saying the wrong words. I will admit to that. But vulnerability makes us all human, male and female, and all races. Being vulnerable. Like if I were to step outside and see a bear, you might hear me.
Oh my God!
You might hear me scream like a girl.
Okay, look. We're at 3 hours and 15 minutes, and I told you this before. Every time we put Richard on the panel, we go to 4 and 5 hours of unnecessary conversation. So we're gonna cut this shit real short.
We was gonna shut it down at 3 o'clock or 3 o'clock. 3 hours. We are gonna shut it down, guys. We appreciate it. This was really supposed to be a good 2-hour show to get us in. And I think what we have found.
Tell me how you making out in your travels, my brother.
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I'm in my final area before I get on the plane to go to Manila, which will be at the end of this month. Yep. Spending a little time with my 81-year-old mother. You know what I mean? And then I'll be on a plane.
Show your 81-year-old mother your feminine
Why
side.
would I put my 81-year-old mother on the internet?
No, I said show your 81-year-old mother your feminine side. Hug her, kiss her.
She would never expect me to act like a feminine man. From an 81-year-old mother. I'm her son, and she understands what a son is.
Any woman who, any mother who does that to her son doesn't love her son. She hates that man or that potential man. Probably because she hates
that sounds like trauma. Maybe next episode we can explore that with you, Joe.
No, that's just the facts. It's not my case. It's not my situation. I'm just saying I've seen it. Women who generally don't care for the son or have something against the father of the son will raise that son to be more feminine, generally speaking.
But there are sons that have issues with their mom because the father left.
Yeah, it's called being a son husband.
Yeah, believe that.
We speak against that all the time. We speak against that all the time. No,
Alex Alex has you dead to right, man.
Yes, he does.
You ask Richard, what time is it? And then Richard responds, time is an abstract concept that humans have devised to understand the progression of events, and I blame men.
It is 10:21 a.m. in Patia in the year 2568.
He has you dead to
He
right.
knows that because he's right there with you.
It
He's
is
also on
10:21 a.m. Patia time, the year 2568, coming up on April 13th. Sawadi P. Mai to all those who are here. Happy New Year. Happy Thai New Year. And Sawadi P. Mai to Alex and Melly. And to you, Joe, if you're here. And Ronan, safe
I'm
travels.
going to be going.
Ronan, I love you.
Don't know about Patia though. That scares me a little bit.
You big huggy bear ass dude. I love you, man. Fearless, you big chisel chin guy.
When you go to that other show, I want you to tell them.
Darnell, my guy. That's my counselor. That's my attorney. Never give up on me, man. You testified against me in court today. I gotta go look at the books and make sure you don't get paid today.
You haven't paid your fucking. You haven't paid your fucking retainer.
I just get ready to say that.
Darnell, I apologize. Your offshore bank account if you need me.
All right now.
Well, guys,
thank you, brothers.
I
appreciate
everyone
God
coming
bless
up. I think this was a great show. I think we did demonstrate that there are some women out there who have are a little masculine, or they now prefer men who are a little more feminine. They no longer like the strong men. I think it has to do more, like what the woman said, it has to do more along the lines of control. The less masculine a man is, the more that a woman can control that man. And I think women, feel like they want to be in control now. But and it has to do with birth control. Women who are not trying to procreate. Yeah, we showed that they're not trying to procreate. They seem to find a gentler man, a little more softer. But when the world, but the world will show us that when it comes around and they are in need, those women will seek out a whole different type of person.
Well, real quick, I've actually been around women who portray themselves as a feminist, the blue, different colored hairs, the piercings and things like that. Women who would absolutely go for the softer man, French types, whatever. And they get around me, and then they get more angry and confused because they don't understand the sudden attraction they might have for me. And it's just energy. That's not something I'm saying. I'm not spitting game. I'm not macking, none of that. I'm just there. And they just kind of like, what you see them just kind of short circuiting. And then some of them give in and say, I need to talk. It's not something I normally do, but like, you're not the type to go for a man like me. You're the type to go for the guys I see you go for. The guys who will, wait on you hand and foot, who pedestalize you. Here's my number. So, when it comes at the end of the day, even though we say they prefer feminine man, that's true to an extent. I feel like it's kind of like if you have the choice between filet mignon and a basic hamburger meal, and all you have is hamburger in front of you, you're going to go for it. But if you have the filet mignon in front of you, which is the masculine presence and energy of a man, a woman's going to choose it any time of the day, even if she's accustomed to eating the hamburger all of her life. She sees that filet mignon, you know what? I'm going to try something different. So generally speaking, they almost always go for the masculine man, even if it goes against what they really want or they think they want.
Well, it's biology. You can't deny biology. That's mankind, or and I use that to explain for both sexes, but that's mankind's folly.
Hence why a woman creates a whole live and a whole YouTube channel, but she never stays in that room and goes to everybody else's room where the masculinity is.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
I'm just saying. But we done said goodbye for the last fucking 10 minutes, so let's go. We gotta go.
We gotta go. Have a good one, guys. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Stay in your masculinity. Until next time. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment to the channels. We'd appreciate it. Until next time.
Monday is the showdown, by the way, between
Showdown with
Fearless
a
and No
hoedown.
Excuse. All right.
Battle of
So the conversation is about feminism and submission between Latin America and Africa.
Mm-hmm. You might like this one, Richard. It's about a man, either which one is better, authoritarianship or leadership. We'll find out. Until next time.